Acme Towing Company. That's too far away.
Let Henry's do it.
Nah, we're ready to close.
Let Henry's do it.
Henry's is ready to take your call right now. From compacts to semis, Henry is here to help 24/7. Save yourself the hassle and make us your first call. Henry's gets there fast, offering multiple locations to serve the Ozarks. When you're stuck on the side of the road, make the right call. Let Henry do it.
Baseball is America's pastime. And friends, now more than ever, it's important to hold on to our traditions. There's a rumbling in the Ozarks. Baseball is a tradition that softens the hard blows that life can sometimes give us. Traditions that bind us as families, that binds us as communities, but most importantly, binds us as Americans. Welcome to the Grip and Rip Baseball League.
And in season one, that talent level with those 4 teams that we initially drafted in the original 60, it supported everything that I thought that Ozark could be and what the GRBL could be.
It's that nostalgic, bring you back to the glory days feeling of being able to say, man, this is awesome. This is exactly how I remembered it.
The experience of stepping in the batter's box, looking the pitcher in the eye, and you're like, he's trying to strike you out, you're trying to get a hit. I've not found that feeling anywhere else in the world ever. It's just something that can never be matched except right there on the baseball field.
I appreciate the league because it's given me an opportunity to go out and love baseball again and just enjoy it.
You put the competitive aspect of it with the fun that the guys have in the dugout, the different ages and stuff, and you just can't miss. Like, you just cannot mess up. Like, you're going to have a great time.
I get to be around new faces every year. I get to be around new people that love the game as much as I do. And that's really why I do it. And, of course, I still get to compete against the pitcher.
Coming into Grip and Rip, it was just everything that I was really hoping for. When you first hear about it, it's like, oh, it's a men's baseball league, you know, how competitive can it really be? It's not until you step out there and try and look forward to the first game of the year, you're like, oh, dang, these guys are legit.
It's a one-of-a-kind deal, so it's awesome to be part of it. So just to explain kind of what all goes into the league itself, people are kind of blown away by it. So then they understand why I'm taking it seriously.
It sounds silly, everybody talks about it, but GRBL is a brotherhood. Whether it's your teammates or the other team, it doesn't matter how old you are. We're all brothers, we're all baseball players, and that's just a simple thing about it.
Yeah, it's funny, like with my 9-year-old, she's like, Dad, you're so good at baseball, like you're so good out there. And it's like, if you only knew, I'm not necessarily batting that good out there. You know? So, but they're going to remember the good things. That's the cool thing about kids. My kids have never seen me play ball like that. You know, I talk about it a lot, but it's really hard to put into true context until you get out there and your kids see you play ball on the field.
I'm more excited for this than I think I've ever been with anything regarding baseball. People make an impact on you throughout the season.
Looking back at it, that's kind of what this league's about. Obviously, to go out and compete, but have fun again and kind of have that heart of a kid.
It is a 100% true love of the game. It has zero to do with contracts or money that's being thrown around right now. It's because they want to be there to play a children's game at a high level.
Swing and a miss. He got him. And the Moon City Mavericks have done it 4-0. They defeat Nixa today. Clay Murphy punctuates it with a strikeout. And the Mavericks are going to play for the ultimate prize, the coveted Howard Bell Trophy. Will be in the balance.
Every single one of us, I feel like we left every game with a smile on our face. And I think that's the biggest thing for a lot of us.
We won games because we played as a team. We got behind, we came back as a team, and somebody was always getting a big hit. So it was a total team.
We are live at U.S. Baseball Park for week
Number 6, the 2022 Grip and Rip Baseball League season. Serious playoff implications hanging in the balance for all those involved this Sunday, the penultimate triple header on the GRBL schedule. We've got one more triple bill that is coming up next week, and then it is time to start talking about the playoffs in earnest. Coming up today at high noon, it's a showdown between rivals. The Ozark Mountain Ducks take on the Springfield Metropolitans. Then at 3 o'clock, it's the Branson Showmen against the no longer undefeated Nixa Suckers. And then at 6 o'clock, baseball night in the Ozarks, the Republic Locos will take on the all-defeated Moon City Mavericks, still scrapping and clawing for win number 1 of the campaign. They will try to do it tonight in what should be a very good North Division matchup. Well, hello once again, everybody. I'm Rance Berger. Welcome into U.S. Baseball Park for today's GRBL Sunday triple hitter. And yes, it is time to talk about the playoff picture. This one coming up at noon, a non-divisional game between the Metropolitans and the Mountain Ducks. So turning our attention to the GRBL North Division, you've got Springfield, 3 wins against 2 losses. They have completed their division schedule, so they finish 3-1 in the division. Republic Locos are also 3-2. They are 2-1 in the division. They will wrap the division portion of their schedule tonight in a game against Moon City, and the Mavericks in the cellar in the north at 0-5. In the South Division, the Nixa Suckers are in the catbird seat, 4 wins against 1 loss. That came a week ago at the hands of the Ozark Mountain Ducks, 6-2, the final of that game. Ozark Mountain Ducks right now, second place in the South, 3 wins, 2 defeats. They are 2-2 in the division, so only non-division games left for OMD at this point. And the Ducks could still win the division. They would just need some help to do it. The same is actually true for the Branson Showmen. 2 wins against 3 losses. They are 1-2 in the division. So Showmen today have a non-divisional game. That's going to be, or no, check that. That's a divisional game. So here's the situation for Branson. Branson needs to defeat Nixa and essentially needs to run the table for the rest of the regular season to finish 4-3. They would need the Nixa Suckers to obviously lose to them today and then lose again next week. Nixa finishes out the regular season on October 2nd, taking on the Springfield Metropolitans in the 3 o'clock game. So for the Showmen to get first place, they need 2 wins. They need 2 Suckers losses, and they are going to need some help as well against the Ozark Mountain Ducks. That would essentially end up coming down to the third criteria along the tie-breaking set, which is runs allowed. And right now, Ozark's allowed 30. Branson has allowed 28. So not quite saying logjam in the South, but it is far from over with 2 games left in the regular season. Of course, in the North Division, Springfield and Republic, essentially first place is up for grabs. It's a 2-horse race. Moon City is mathematically eliminated from winning the division outright. They will still go on to the playoffs, so Mavericks are playing for seeding at this time and point. Metropolitans could stand to benefit from a Republic loss today, but for the Mets, it's really about controlling their own destiny. They have allowed fewer runs than any other team in the Grip and Rip Baseball League, powered by the pitching of Andy Galley and Clay Murphy, among others. And the Mets are also leading the league in hitting. They've got 47 hits. They're tied with the Branson Showmen for the overall league lead in hits. So big chance for the Metropolitans here to get a statement win over their rivals, the Ozark Mountain Ducks, and really, not quite clinch it today, but certainly set themselves up to finish first in the division. Let's meet the starters for this game, a high noon showdown between the Ozark Mountain Ducks and the Springfield Mets. Ducks will be the visitors on the scoreboard. They will lead off with their left fielder. He wears number 3, originally from Nixa, Missouri. That is Chris Leggett. Batting in the second spot is the first baseman, number 13 from Salem, Missouri, John Arts. Batting third from Ozark. He is the center fielder, number 2, Skylar Carter. Batting fourth is the second baseman, number 18, the Godfather, Tony Lewis. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 6, Mark Blim. Batting sixth is number 5, the shortstop, Nick Young, still struggling with some injuries. Batting in the seventh spot is the right fielder. He wears number 11. That's Evan Barnett. Batting eighth from Spokane, Missouri. He is number 17, the extra hitter, Brandon Freeman. Batting ninth is the pitcher, Ben Van Gorp. He enters today's game with 98 strikeouts for his career. And batting 10th is his battery mate, the catcher, number 1, Devin Phillips. So it's Leggett, Arts, Carter, Lewis, Blem, Young, Barnett, Freeman, Van Gorp, and Phillips for the Mountain Ducks today. Springfield Metropolitans, the home team on the board, wearing all black everything and some special Los Mets jerseys. Los Metropolitanos, paying tribute to the GRBL's Latin American history, and a great history of Latin American players, and a great Latin American fan community to go along with it. They will lead off with the center fielder. He wears number 6. He's actually from Ozark, Missouri now. Jared Brashler. Batting second is the left fielder. He's number 7, Harrison Waters. Batting third is the right fielder, number 25 from Bolivar, Missouri, Zach Young. Batting fourth is the catcher, wears number 14, 50 years young, former New York Yankees farmhand Steve Aldridge. Batting fifth is number 17, the first baseman, El Caballero Venezolano, David Rodriguez. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, one of the all-time greatest hitters in the history of this league, number 15, Justin Parker. Batting in the 7th spot is the third baseman. He wears number 8, Clay Murphy. Batting 8th, the second baseman, number 27, the stand-up comedian, Harrison Broadstreet. Hitting 9th is the shortstop. He wears number 1 from Mansfield, Missouri, home of Laura Ingalls Wilder. That would be Jonah Williamson. And batting 10th is the extra hitter, number 11. They call him Fruit Snacks, Justin Loudon. So it's Brashler, Waters, Young, Aldridge, Rodriguez, Parker, Murphy, Broadstreet, Williamson, and Loudon for Los Mets, again in the special kits today, paying homage to the GRBL's long-standing history of solid Latin American players and a great Latin American fan base. More Grip and Rip Baseball. The first pitch will come out from Andy Galley's hand when we come back. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, live and free all day long, right here on YouTube.
Now at Domino's, we're more than just hand-tossed pizza for $7.99. We're $7.99 gluten-free crust, $7.99 handmade pan crust, $7.99 Brooklyn-style crust, and $7.99 crunchy thin crust, too. Carry out 3-topping pizzas on any of Domino's 5 crusts for just $7.99 each.
Acme Towing Company. That's too far away.
Let Henry's do it.
Nah, we're ready to close.
Let Henry's do it.
Henry's is ready to take your call right now. From compacts to semis, Henry is here to help 24/7. Save yourself the hassle and make us your first call. Henry's gets there fast, offering multiple locations to serve the Ozarks. When you're stuck on the side of the road, make the right call. Let Henry do it.
Welcome back to U.S. Baseball Park, the Grip and Rip Baseball League. Just about to get underway, the penultimate Sunday triple header of the 2022 regular season. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Rance Berger. My partner for this one, Brandon Shipman. And Shippy, one of the all-time best to ever do it here in the GRBL, Andy Galley has the baseball in his hand. Here's the line real quick for Andy. 18 innings, 6 earned on 17 hits, 24 strikeouts against just 2 walks. And even that is a high number by his standards. 1 hit batsman and a 3.00 ERA. So Andy Galley, the only player to ever win the Pitcher of the Year award twice. Just electric stuff at 38 years old.
Yeah, he's been not slowing down at all. Year after year, he continues to just throw gas, and he's striking people out, and he's not letting people on base, so it's awesome.
So Metropolitans have some of the top pitching in the GRBL, a 2.66 team earned run average across 44 innings. They have allowed 13 earned runs and scattered 36 hits. So the Ozark Mountain Ducks today will look to hit well, and wouldn't you know it, we've got a little bit of a delay to get going. Looks like some work on the mound taking place out there.
That's what it looks like. I'm not sure what they're finding out there.
Well, so it looks like a replacement piece of turf went down right in the landing area. Well, GRBL Commissioner Tony Lewis has 18 on his back for the Mountain Ducks. You can see him in the picture. Yeah, you want the pitchers to be able to land properly. And this is a unique feature. I had never really heard of an artificial pitcher's mound before I saw this one go in here at U.S. Baseball Park. They're becoming more and more prevalent as more schools and clubs and just owners of baseball fields are switching to the artificial surface.
A lot of pitchers do like the artificial mound, all in all, but looks like we've just got a malfunction with this one for the moment. And so we will wait and see. Well, hey, while we're at that, Brandon, let's talk playoff implications. It's never too early to get way too complicated with the playoff picture. So Metropolitans 3-2. They are tied with Republic in the GRBL North. Locos are also 3-2. That division is pretty much a two-horse race to see who is going to grab the first round bye in the playoffs. So the way this will work, it's a little bit of a different format, but since 2020, the GRBL has gone to the everybody makes the playoffs format, if you will. But this time we have installed divisions again, so that is something that has not been present since 2019. Basically, the incentive behind the divisions is it should make, in theory, scheduling a little bit easier. And if you win the division, you earn a bye in the playoffs, so you're automatically in the semifinals. The four teams that do not earn those byes will be then seeded 3 through 6, and they will play in the GRBL playoff eliminators on Sunday, October the 9th. So Springfield and Republic duking it out with 2 games left in the regular season, trying to win the GRBL North and get that bye. And the incentive there is that statistically, teams that have gotten byes have always won the Howard Bell Trophy and the championship since we've gone to this format. So how's that for incentive?
That's pretty nice. If you win your division, then you get a championship. That seems how it works, right?
It sets you up anyway, for sure. Metropolitans have, like I said, allowed just 12 runs. They've scored 22, so while they're hitting well, leading the GRBL with 47 base hits, they'd like to turn that into production just a little bit more. And so the way it works for trying to win your division, first of all, it's overall wins and losses. Then it can come down to head-to-head. However, Mets and Locos should be shaping up for a split there. And so then it would come down to the next criteria, which is division win-loss record. If Republic beats Moon City tonight, that will also be a push because that would put Springfield and Republic both at 3-1. And then we would go to the next criteria, which is fewest runs allowed. And right now, that favors the Metropolitans in a big way. They've allowed just 12. Republic has allowed 22, which is nothing to sneeze at. Matter of fact, that's second in the league. Just
wow.
The problem is the Mets defensively have just been very, very good, and it's Andy Galley and Clay Murphy and that cumulative 2.66 ERA.
Don't give up a lot of runs when you got those two.
That has been the way it has been for the Mets, and traditionally Brock Chaffin is a manager who likes to draft offense first. He's a guy who loves hits, so. It did not surprise me when he drafted Clay Murphy. It surprised me a little bit when he took Andy Galley a little bit later in the draft, but I thought to myself, wow, that's going to be a pretty nice duo there if they can come up with some middlemen. And they have. They have Jaron Dishman, they have Justin Loudon, and both of those men have done the work thus far. It's a pretty good rotation. And I think, when we look at the success Andy Galley has had this year, a big part of it is the guy they've got caddying for him behind the plate, Steve Aldridge. Has been a great pairing and a great partner for Andy.
Yeah, Steve's great. I've known Steve for years and years and years. Whenever I was playing high school ball, he lives in Marshfield too, so he would come and he would help us work on hitting and stuff like that. So he's a great guy, knows the game a lot. He's a real smart baseball guy.
That's just a great pairing. I've really enjoyed watching Andy work with Steve, and I know Steve is probably not telling Andy what to do on every single pitch.
Right.
That's a little bit of respect between two professional players, but I've enjoyed the impact from afar that Steve Aldridge has had on Andy Galley's game. So flip side in the South Division. Right now, it's still the Suckers in the driver's seat. They're 1 game up, 4 wins against just 1 loss, but that 1 loss is to the Ozark Mountain Ducks. Ozark right now 3-2 and 2-2 in the division, so division play is done. Realistically, for the Ducks to win the division and get the bye, they're going to need a little bit of help, and they can get it today if the Branson Showmen can, take center stage and knock the Suckers down to 4-2. But realistically, it's going to take, for Ozark, maybe not running the table, but if they lose 2, they're definitely not going to win the division.
Right.
They've got to go at least 1-1, and then they would need some help for somebody to knock off Nixa. If they're able to run the table and finish 5-2, and then get some help with a Suckers loss either this week or next week, then we could perhaps start talking about Ozark jumping up and stealing that division win and a first-round bye. Shulman not mathematically out of it, but they've got to run the table, and
Right.
they need the Suckers to go over for the last of the season.
Yeah, anything can
That's
happen in
tough.
this league.
Absolutely, anything is possible in baseball. We've seen, and Courtney Spitz is a manager who knows that all too well. I remember in 2019, it was his Naturals team started off the season 4-0, and then they ran into another 4-0 team, which was Austin Kendrick's Shockers. Shockers ended up winning that game, and that sent the Naturals on a losing streak, and it was a personal managerial streak for Spitz that he didn't snap out of until the following season. So
wow,
Naturals started off 4-0, and then ended up, I think, finishing 4-4 on the year, getting bounced in the playoffs. So that was pretty tough. So nothing is ventured, and as good as Nixa has been, certainly it can all crumble for them. So there is the playoff picture. It'll be even more complicated next week, I promise you. Andy Galley's first pitch to Chris Leggett. Fastball for a strike. Leggett pops this one on the infield. That's going to be trouble. It dips down beyond the reach of the first baseman, and then it gets away.
Wow.
From the right fielder. So Chris Leggett, it was ugly, but you got to score that a base hit.
That's a line drive in the gap for a double in the scorebook.
A leadoff double. Ugly but effective for Chris Leggett, and it brings up John Arts. So right away, Mountain Ducks put a man into scoring position for Big Country, the left-hander from Salem, Missouri.
Best barber in town.
Absolutely. He cuts hair pretty well. Says, he has built good relationships with his teammates and also done a fair bit of scouting from some of his opponents by having them in the barber's chair. 1-0 to Arts. Gets in there for a strike on the outer half. So we've got a interesting patch job there to the pitcher's mound.
It's
a big green square. Doesn't look good, but hopefully it's given Galley a good landing zone as he sends Chris Leggett diving back.
Yeah, it can be as ugly as it wants to be as long as it's not causing injuries. So,
well, and a lot of pitchers who are long striders tend to like the artificial mound because the gradient is uniform throughout. Pitchers who prefer to dig and have a step off tend to hate it, but the non-diggers really enjoy that mound. 2-1 to John Arts. Fastball. Swing, and he touched it. Just back to the screen there, 2-2.
Am I seeing things, or does John Arts not have a beard right now?
He does not. So
what is happening?
Welcome to the Ozark Mustache Ducks. They lost a couple. Here's a pop-up into right field. Zach Young over to get that and makes the catch for Springfield for the out. Chris Leggett tags up and motors down to third base. So he is in excellent position for Skylar Carter with one out. So yeah, the Mountain Ducks lost a couple games in a row, and several guys with full beards decided they needed to do something to change it up. So they shaved off their beards, went to just mustaches. Other players quit shaving and then grew some mustaches. So you've got handlebars, you've got some soup strainers, you got some flavor savers, if you will. But the Ozark Mustache Ducks trying to break out of a slump. Worked. They beat Nixa 6-2 as Skylar Carter lined out to the first baseman, David Rodriguez. That was out so fast, I lost track of the ball.
Yeah.
Nice job by Rodriguez to get the second out, and it is a chance with Tony Lewis coming up here, facing Andy Galley for the Mets to get out of this inning. This is a good matchup here. Tony actually managed Andy back in 2020. Guys have a long friendship, pretty familiar with each other as Andy threw him a fastball in. Godfather 5 for 14 with a double and 4 singles.
Nice.
Having a banger of a year. Yeah, one more hit, and he will equal his total from 2021.
Nice. Chance to score a run here and take the lead early, too.
Lewis made contact with that. It is dipping down into center field in front of Brashler, and then it bounces over his head to the wall. Leggett scores. It's 1-0 Mountain Ducks. Lewis will woe up wisely at second base. And a little celebration there from Tony as it's 1-0. Not sure what that was. He shooting an arrow there?
It looked like he was trying to. I don't know where it was going.
Restring his bow, perhaps. Here's Mark Blem, Ozark Mountain Ducks hero of the 2020 Howard Bell Trophy game. Had a walk-off RBI base hit that scored Austin Kendrick. Clinched victory for the Ducks against these Mets. Ground ball to third. That is plenty of time. Clay Murphy doing the work over there. Not sporting the high socks. He's got the pants down. I didn't recognize him for a second.
He sure does.
So 1-0 Mountain Ducks. We have played the top of the first. Back with more right after this. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, live and free all day long on YouTube. Our coverage sponsored by Central Bank of the Ozarks.
When times are tough, you turn to the people you trust. For more than 100 years, Central Bank has weathered many a storm, and through it all, shown what it means to be a true community bank. Our people are working right now to keep your money moving, to keep your businesses strong, to keep our community strong. Central Bank has been named a Forbes magazine top 100 bank for 12 years in a row. When we say strong roots, we mean it. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
So the Ozark Mountain Ducks jump out to a 1-0 lead. An RBI base hit for the Godfather, Tony Lewis, puts OMD out front. And now it is time to talk about Honkball Benny, the dashing Dutchman Ben Van Gorp on the hill for the Ozark Mountain Ducks. And Chippy, get this. Ben Van Gorp enters today's game 98 strikeouts for his career.
Wow.
So could be just the 5th player in the 7 years of Grip and Rip baseball to meet the century mark. Needs 3 strikeouts today to do it. I know that's going to be in the back of his mind, but I think his manager, Austin Kendrick, gave him some pretty firm direction about, hey, we need to get outs. We need to win this baseball game. The accolades will come for you. But first things first, let's handle business in an important game to win. So Ben Van Gorp, born in Amsterdam, grew up in Nixa, Missouri. He was the son of a missionary family. That's why he spent some time in the Netherlands. Last outing, he pitched September 18th, 5 innings against the Suckers, gave up 2 earned runs, a no-hitter though. But
what?
He walked 4 through 2 wild pitches. And that was a big part of the reason why the Nixa Suckers put 2 on the board. He was wild for the first inning out, and then got it under control, put it into cruise the rest of the way, and the Suckers did not answer. So a little bit of an interesting stat line for BVG as Jared Brashler swings to make it 1-1. Van Gorp on the season, a 3.97 ERA, 10 earned runs in 22 2/3, and 25 strikeouts. This will not be a K as Brashler lifts one into right field. That's going to be handled by Evan Barnett. I think that's Evan Barnett. He was listed as the starter anyway. Yeah, that's Barnett. Looked kind of like Todd Tolbert for a second. My mind is tricky. So Harrison Waters bats next, has Dirty Harry on the nameplate of the customized
That's awesome.
Mets jerseys. Whoa, looked at one way outside. That's pretty typical of Van Gorp. Sometimes he takes an inning or two to get himself settled in.
When he's settled in, he's good, though.
Waters swings, chips this one into center field. That is, well, going to carry out into the glove of Skylar Carter. Quick check of the weather powered by A&L Electric. Temperatures rising into the 60s. We're expected to hit a high today of 78. But the big story is going to be that northerly wind. It is blowing toward right field, and you can see the flag out there.
It's going nuts out there.
10-20 the winds today. We'll be, hanging somewhere in the teens for most of it. But as the wind blows in, that's going to carry balls, especially for left-handed hitters. Zach Young will not get to prove that point as he just got hit in the back. So 2 away and a runner on. Steve Aldridge comes up here. It's Aldridge from Marshfield, Missouri, as is Brandon Shipman.
Sure am.
4 for 21 on the season is Aldridge with a double, 3 singles, 2 runs batted in. Struck out just twice, so more often than not, 19 times out of 21 to be exact, he's putting the ball into play.
He's a good ball player, good hitter. There's an example.
There is a base hit. Out into left field it goes. Aldridge taking what's given, going the other way with it. And moves the runner, Zach Young, up into scoring position. Here we go, Los Metropolitanos. David Rodriguez, el caballero venezolano, de Caracas. Speaks Spanish, Portuguese, and English. Works as a mortgage broker.
I didn't realize you speak Spanish.
A little bit.
That's
a little bit.
That was impressive.
Had to study it at the University of Missouri to get my journalism degree. Had to fulfill that foreign language requirement. Figured Spanish would be useful. Admittedly, I don't use it a lot as a professional journalist. I use it more here at Moonlighting in Baseball. Here's the 1-0 to David. Una bola. Dos bolas, 0 strikes para David Rodriguez.
It's 2 balls and 0 strikes. Just so everybody knows.
There we go. I'm just letting you go to work here. El lanzador para los Ducks, Ben Van Gorp.
I'm lost now. I don't know what he said. Sorry.
La recta. That's a fastball. But it was a ball. 3 bolas para David Rodriguez. Sugar Papi. No. That is a walk to David Rodriguez. 4 bolas. And that loads him up for Justin Parker.
Good start to the inning for Ben, and then it just kind of got away from...
Yeah, a couple of quick outs, and then the Mets staging a little bit of a 2-out rally here, trailing the Ducks 1-0. Slider for a strike on the outer half to Justin Parker. 6 for 19 on the campaign is JP. Car salesman from Branson, Missouri, took a hack at one upstairs there. Had 7 hits a season ago. That was also with the Mets. So the 0-2. Chased it. In the dirt it goes. That is a strikeout, and Van Gorp now has 99 for his career. But more importantly, he got out of the inning protecting a 1-0 lead. A jammy jam, but an empty-handed walk away for the Springfield Metropolitans. We're back with the second inning. Right after this, it is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, presented to you live and free all day long on YouTube.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. Whether you're looking to pay bills or make a big purchase, sometimes you need cash quickly to take that next step. A consumer loan might be a perfect option to help you live well, bank well. Sonia McClendon, one of our branch managers, is here to explain.
Thank you, Nicole. We provide personal consumer loans for almost any purpose, from building your credit to financing that new car. We offer competitive rates, and decisions are made locally so we can get you the money that you need quickly. But what makes our consumer loans unique is that personal touch. For example, I recently worked with a customer to secure a loan for a horse trailer. He could have went elsewhere, but he chose to work with his bank because of that personal relationship that we built with him. Being able to work with your personal banker that you know and trust makes a big difference.
That's right, because we work with our customers to help them live well, bank well. Get started at bankofmissouri.com.
Berger alongside Brandon Shipman at U.S. Baseball Park. Ozark Mountain Ducks have a 1-0 lead over the Springfield Metropolitans. We have played one inning, and during the changeover there, a cast of characters assembled on the mound. We've swapped out the big green square for what looks like a larger brown rectangle
with some white stripes on it.
Well, hey, that ought to spice things up. I don't know. Andy Galley out there test firing it. Looks to be okay. As Mets walk off. Los Mets. Again, special jerseys today. It's one of those deals they just showed up with them, probably planning to ask the league forgiveness rather than permission to do that.
I guess.
But I like them. You know, it's a pretty neat look. Nick Young stands in against Galley. Mountain Ducks lead 1-0. It'll be Young, Barnett, and Freeman this inning. Grounder to the second baseman, where that is handled by Harrison Broadstreet, sporting some high white socks.
Real high white socks.
No sleeves, got the batting gloves dangling. Real bad boy look for Broadstreet.
It's a real Broadstreet look is what it is.
It's very, very street. So Nick Young grounds out. It's going to bring up Evan Barnett from Parkview High School. Swings, grounds this one left side. Oh, through the wickets it goes for the shortstop, Joe Williamson. We will wait and see what the official scorer has to say about that. It is scored a hit.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Hey, when in doubt, give the man a hit. I'm pretty, I tend to be pretty generous. Second hit of the season for Evan Barnett. Guy needs hits.
To be fair, had it been fielded cleanly, it would have been a tough out to get him.
Freeman pops one up into shallow center. Brashler runs in to get that, playing the wind. And speaking of the wind, it has kicked up the carpet on the pitcher's mound. So the woes continue there. So with 2 outs on the board, Ben Van Gorp steps in for the Mountain Ducks. He has 3 hits on the season. 3 for 18. 3 runs batted in. Looked at a 2-seam low for ball 1. Van Gorp, the number 9 hitter in this 10-man order. Now he calls time and steps out. Well, geez, you want to know how to annoy Andy Galley? That's right there.
That's the way to do it.
That is asking for trouble. We'll see what Andy does. Yeah, came high and tight.
He sure did. That was not an accident.
Nope. The game within the game. The dance within the dance. 2-0. That was inside. Van Gorp lifts this one way up into left. Waters ranging back to get it. Excellent job by Harrison to
great
adjust.
Play out there.
Yeah, you know, makes it look easy, but that was anything but to get the 3rd out. And so very quickly, Galley gave up a hit, but a goose egg goes on the board. We will play the bottom of the 1st right after this. It is Grip and Rib Baseball. Ozark Mountain Ducks 1, Springfield Mets 0.
When Gary and Sandra Henry started Henry's Towing nearly 5 decades ago, customers knew that Henry would be the guy coming to help. People would call and ask to let Henry do it. And as Springfield has grown, our family has grown as well. So there's always someone around to come help you out. Everyone at Henry's is a member of the family, fully trained and as dependable as the original. With a family this size, help is always right around the corner. So if you find yourself in need of roadside assistance, remember to call the name you've grown to know and trust. Remember to let Henry do it.
I need to change. My workouts are too boring.
Oh, I've got an amazing workout for you. Hot yoga. I've lost weight and I'm more flexible.
Try our community classes for only $8. Sumit's Hot Yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
So Ben Van Gorp sits at 99 strikeouts for his career, 26 for the season as he takes the hill for the Ozark Mountain Ducks here in the 2nd inning, protecting a 1-0 lead. And Brandon Shipman, I would imagine Van Gorp's going to be the 5-inning man today for the Ducks. I was talking things over with Austin Kendrick, their skipper, before the game. Still without the services of Nick Young as a pitcher. You know, you see Nick's out there at short.
Right.
He's just dealing with some arm soreness, and so limiting himself a little bit. BVG is going to be the 5-inning guy. I would imagine they will turn to a combination of King Owens, John Arts, and maybe Mark Blim to go the rest of the way. But
yeah,
BVG has got to eat for the Mountain Ducks to be successful.
It's a tough loss, too, not getting Nick Young on the mound.
Yeah, first-round draft pick and a guy who was, pitched very well first game of the year, had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings, and then just said, yeah, my arm it's not safe for me to go out there and keep doing it. But, also, credit him for safety first and all that. He's a guy with potential for a long career here in the Grip and Rip. So here we go, a foul ball off the bat of Murphy. It is 0-2. So Ben Van Gorp, an original Nixa, Missouri's own from Evangel University. He's been in this league since 2016, trying to become just the 5th. The 0-2 breaking ball, no. We prolonged the drama just a little bit longer. Van Gorp, deep exhale, stretches, rocks, and fires. Murphy swings and pops this one up, stays on the playing surface, and into the glove of the first baseman, John Arts, in foul territory. So number hundo will have to wait. Harrison Broadstreet steps up here.
This is who he wants it against.
Oh,
there's no doubt.
These two cats have a lot of history. Harrison Broadstreet, Ben Van Gorp. They enjoy competing against each other. They enjoy their long-standing insult contest even more. Harry 3 for 12 with a double and 2 singles. He'd like to break up the party for Van Gorp here with 1 out. Swung and missed there. That was pure paint from Van Gorp. A great start. 0-1. BVG worked in with the fastball low.
That's the ball.
Yep, fresh baseball. Yeah, why not? So Van Gorp listed his occupation as a semi-pro athlete. He's actually a medical assistant in the Cox Health Group. Broadstreet swings and misses, and so here we go again. 1-2. Ben Van Gorp chasing the century mark, trying to become just the 5th man to do it. Looks in, high leg kick, and comes home. Swing and a miss, and there it is. Ben Van Gorp. 7 years of Grip and Rip baseball. He waves goodbye to his friend Harrison Broadstreet, the 100th strikeout in the career of Ben Van Gorp, and then he just threw Broadstreet the baseball. Either a great gesture of sportsmanship or throwing salt into the eyes.
I think that's another insult on the list.
Number 100 for BVG, his 2nd of the game. Great moment for a wily veteran of the Grip and Rip League. Joins the likes of Skylar Hinson, Andy Galley, Cole Rourke, and now he himself is in that rare air, and Josh Engler. Knew I was forgetting somebody. So Ben Van Gorp becomes just the 5th to get 100 Ks for the career. Jonah Williamson trying not to become 101, swings. This is going to stay on the infield. Back to get that as the shortstop, Young, who had to adjust in the wind, but he made the catch. And yeah, 3 up and 3 down, more importantly for the Mountain Ducks, who maintain a 1-0 lead. We're back to bring you the 3rd inning right after this. It is Grip and Rip baseball all game long, all Sunday long, right here on YouTube.
You love your truck, and Placid Tire Service is here to help you make it even better. We've got wheels, leveling kits, and of course, the area's largest selection of light truck tires. With ATs and mud tires up to 35s and bigger, Placid Tire Service has you covered. And we can help you select a great combination that will work with your truck. Take your truck from stock to spectacular with Placid Tire Service. In Springfield on East Sunshine, West Sunshine, and South Campbell, and now open at 1007 Kenneth and Nixa. That's Placid Tire Service.
Support local, give local. We hear it all the time, and when it comes to blood donation, there's an easy way to make sure your gift is being used in your community. Donors with Community Blood Center of the Ozarks provide every drop of blood, platelets, and convalescent plasma to patients in over 40 area hospitals. How do I know why that's important? Because my youngest daughter, Joselina, is alive today thanks to local blood donors. Find out how you can help at cbco.org. Local donors, local patients. That's the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks difference.
Ran
Pittsburgher, Brandon Shipman, back with you live. Remember, if you're enjoying the show on YouTube, you can like, share, subscribe, and don't miss anything whenever the Grip and Rip Baseball League is live here on Sundays in the fall. Devin Phillips stands in against Andy Galley. Phillips and the Mountain Ducks have a 1-0 lead over Los Mets. This non-divisional rivalry game. Galley pumps a strike to the Mountain Ducks catcher. It is now 0-2 very quickly. Phillips, the number 10 man in the order. Swing and a drive, but that is tailing foul down the left field line. Devin Phillips, sorry, go ahead.
It's been a real good game so far, real fast-paced.
Well, you've got, Galley tends to work very quickly, one of the fastest, most efficient pitchers. And then Van Gorp has actually worked a little bit faster than he usually does. He's, when he is on, he works pretty quickly. When it's not quite on, he becomes a little bit more of a human rain delay. But
he sure does.
So far, so good for Van Gorp. Pretty good tussle. We knew it would. It's kind of that time of the year where business picks up a little bit. Teams realize their positions in the standings. They're starting to think about October in the postseason. Ooh. Galley missed outside. That evens us up 2-2.
That's a good-looking pitch, too.
It's Devin Phillips, an electrician, former infantryman in the U.S. Army. Fastball, grounded right side. There's Harrison Broadstreet, and putting to rest the memory of being to be a when an opposing batter does what Leggett just did. Yeah, he's come down quick. Fastball just gassed him. Down on strikes goes Leggett. The unmerciful Andy Galley, the all-time GRBL leader in strikeouts. Just his first one of those today. But Galley is dealing. His gap on Skylar Henson now at 2.
Yeah, he works so quick. It's hard as a hitter to even get in there and get comfortable.
Throws a breaking ball to Arts there for a strike. And yeah, you can see he just barely steps off the rubber. Chopper foul, and so Arts quickly behind 0-2. He's going to take a moment to get back into that batter's box, as he should. Galley's now going to
fix the mound.
Step off and fix the carpet. He put a roll into it there. Not sure what. I saw them working on the mound in the pregame. Not entirely sure what was going on out there, but we're piecing it together. So Arts is back in the box. Galley back on the rubber. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Galley y Los Mets. And so the score remains Ozark 1, Springfield 0. Back right after this, it is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, brought to you live and free right here on YouTube. Remember, like, share, and subscribe.
My name is Paul Sunday with Big Whiskey's American Restaurant and Bar, started in Springfield, Missouri. I've always been under the impression you do what you good at. I got started in the restaurant industry back when I was 18. The original Big Whiskey's was established on Park Central East here, which happens to be U66. The concept of Big Whiskey's was very simple. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We just wanted to do what we're doing better. We basically are a restaurant that celebrates our bar. We're a restaurant that celebrates sports. But more importantly, we're a restaurant that has a great food product. We won awards with our pasta dishes, our steaks, our wings, our buffalo chicken dip. People are going to think I'm cliche by saying, well, everything's good. What makes Springfield special to me, whenever I was younger, I used to say that it's big enough to get lost, but not big enough to lose yourself. So I think that it has all the attributes of a big city, with, quite frankly, the quaintness of the folks that live inside it.
Bottom of the third we go.
Ozark Mountain Ducks have a 1-0 lead on the Springfield Metropolitans, and the Mets come to bat. They will send up their number 10 hitter, Justin Fruit Snacks Loudon. He'll be followed by Jared Brashler and Harrison Waters. Yeah, that custom nameplate, Loudon has J. Low, L-O-W, on the back. I said, what is this? That man's nickname is Fruit Snacks. Probably has a couple packs in his back pocket right now. Down 0-1 against BVG.
That one got away from him, didn't it?
Yes. Yes, it did. Got away from all parties involved, I think. Phillips tried to stretch. Justin Loudon, sponsored by Blackman Construction. He's a human resources worker in the mental health field up in Lebanon, Missouri. It's his fourth, GRBL season. Swings. That's kind of an excuse me swing. Fouled it
sure
off
was.
the net.
He wasn't trying too hard that one.
Well, I think he knew that one had a chance of falling into the basket for a strike. 2. Forbes pitch, bounced it. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the third, Mets trailing by a run. Loudon chased that time. Nice stuff from Van Gorp.
Good pitch.
3rd strikeout of the game for BVG, the 101st of the career. Jared Brashler, the airline pilot, or captain is the nickname on the jersey. Lives here in Ozark with his wife and 3 kiddos. During the week, spends a lot of time in the air. The 1-0. Brashler has perfected that thing that airline pilots do where they read off a whole bunch of instructions very quickly and sound like they're not actually paying attention.
Did he have to go to school to learn that?
Oh yeah. So what he explained to me is there's a checklist that he's usually going through as he's addressing the passengers on the intercom. So it's 2 different parts of the brain are working at once, and he's essentially just reading a cue card. 2-1. Here's a chopper to the shortstop. Nick Young on the second hop makes the throw across to Arts in time for the second out. So yeah, next time you're on a commercial flight and it sounds like the captain is disinterested, it's not that he doesn't care. It's probably that he's doing something more important to make sure that the plane is safe to take off. Harrison Waters bats here. Where's number 7? He's originally from Republic, Missouri. 4-year starter at NCAA Division II Drury University. 8 for 19 on the season is Waters, having a gem. Ooh, got crossed up there, and he has been awarded first base. Second time this year, Harrison Waters has been hit by a pitch.
I don't even know if he was convinced he got hit by that pitch.
Well, I think it caught more jersey than body, thankfully. For a second there, I was like, man, he's going to take this right in the chest. That's not good. But I think it just caught some shirt as Waters was falling back out of the way. It's another 2-out chance here for the Mets. Trailing 1-0, bottom of the third. Zach Young stands in. First year in the league for Young, 38 years old. 4 hits and 13 at-bats. He's also walked 3 times, so typically works counts. Ahead here, 1-0.
Oh,
golfs this one way up.
That is carrying
way
out there, too.
back it goes. One bounce and it's off the wall. Harrison Waters touches third. He is going to score. Zach Young turns at second and hits for third. They set it up.
Man.
But the ball trickles. Young is going to be safe. An RBI triple, and we are tied.
He smoked that.
And that ball just carried and carried
sure
and
did.
carried over the head of the left fielder Leggett. You know, in Leggett's defense, not a lot he could have done about that. And a big opportunity for the Mets have the go-ahead run. Young at third. Steve Aldridge, who is 1 for 1 on the day, is at home plate. Steve now 5 for 22 with 2 batted in. Oof. Was running inside all the way. Aldridge just fouls it off. So Steve in 1993 hit .313. Low A, Oneonta, New York, the Oneonta Yankees of the New York Penn League at that time. It was back when there was, you know, high A, low A, and the New York Penn League was affiliated. It has become a collegiate league now, and all the great reorganization of minor league baseball.
Right.
Steve also made just 3 errors in 45 games he started as a catcher with the Oneonta Yankees. The 1-1 checked it. 2-1 now.
Ben needs to settle down here and take a breath.
Yeah, I mean, you know, nothing ventured as long as it's a tie ball game. Escaping this inning would certainly be good for him, but instead the Mets take the lead. Steve Aldridge sends one into right. Beautiful piece of hitting there, and it is 2-1 para los Mets. Back-to-back RBI base hits. And here comes Papi, David Rodriguez. Caracas, Venezuela originally, now lives here in Ozark, Missouri. Broke into the grip and rip in 2017, second year. 5th year in the GRBL for him. Took last year off. Swings and chops this one to the second baseman. A little bobble, but ultimately no problem for Tony Lewis to get the out. Springfield Mets, back-to-back hits. Zach Young, an RBI triple. Steve Aldridge, an RBI single. It is 2-1. Metropolitans lead the Mountain Ducks. We are back with the 4th inning right after this. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, live and free all day long on YouTube.
Do you want to do more? Are you feeling called to help? Some will just hang on. Others will raise their hand to truly help. Phoenix Home Care is looking for raised hands. Phoenix Home Care and Hospice needs help. Phoenix Home Care is hiring immediately for caregivers who want to help people live life with dignity in their own homes. Take this time of crisis to seize an opportunity. Go to phoenixhomehc.com and click on the Careers tab. Be different. Make a difference. Choose Phoenix.
Phoenix Home Care and Hospice. I choose Phoenix.
Back live at U.S. Baseball Park, where the Springfield Metropolitans lead the Ozark Mountain Ducks 2-1, getting ready to start the 4th inning. And here's a move. The Metropolitans are sending Andy Galley back out to the hill. So, Shippy, here we go. That inning restriction, that 3+ tag, going on Andy Galley. He has not worn that yoke in a while, but manager Brock Chaffin apparently going with the hot hand.
Yeah, it's tough for Brock in situations when you have guys like Clay and Andy both on the same team. How do you pick who's going to be your 5-inning guy? That's tough.
Could be a tactical decision, or could just be trying to give Clay Murphy some rest. He threw 4 innings last week. Or it could just be going with the guy who's hot as Galley fires strike 1 to Skylar Carter. Swing, and that's going to get through. It's a base hit for Skylar Carter out into right field. He's now 1 for 2 on the day and sets the table for Tony Lewis. Taking a quick look at Carter here. That's his 7th hit of the season. That is number 65 in his GRBL career. Wow. Truly in a class of his own. Caleb Cole is second place all-time in hits with 51. So really is Skylar Carter versus the field in terms of all-time hitting. That's how he gets it done, though. It's not always fancy. I think Skylar, of all people, would tell you he'd love to get more extra base hits, but when singles are there, he's going to take them.
Right.
Just a great contact hitter, and he can turn a single into a double with his legs if he takes off against Andy here. So the Godfather, Tony Lewis, steps in. Tony, 1 for 1 today. RBI double back in the first. Outfielders playing him very deep as he swings and lifts one into shallow right. Ranging back
What
is
a play.
Broadstreet, who makes the catch on a dead run.
That was a great play. That's a tough play to make for anybody.
Yeah, they had to, that's the problem they had was, Zach Young with the wind in his face playing way back at the track. So it was Broadstreet's ball or nothing. Great job by the Mets second baseman. So 1 out, runner on for the Ducks, trailing by a run. Mark Blem steps up here. Mark, 2 for 13 for the campaign, has walked twice and been hit 3 times, so the on-base percentage is healthy. He'd like to have a few more hits, however, before all is said and done here in 2022. Swing and a grounder, 2-hop to the third baseman. Murphy thought about trying to go for 2. Instead, they will get none. That hesitation cost him, and Mark Blem shows how fast about 230 pounds can move down the line. He's a deceptively quick runner, Mark Blem is.
He's athletic for sure.
Infield single on the board, so hey, that'll help the batting average as well. Big chance here for the Ducks with Carter, one of their fastest runners in scoring position. 1 out. Nick Young stands in and looks at a strike. Young looking to break out of a slump here. Former Springfield, Missouri leadoff club high school baseball player of the year when he was at Parkview. Chased a breaking pitch badly there and has fallen down 0-2 against Galley. 38-year-old going against the 22-year-old. Ooh, not quite. Good discipline by Young to lay off. And again, we'll take a moment to work on the mound. I got a feeling that's going to be a story of the day.
Yeah.
Andy takes longer strides, and it's more body going forward than Van Gorp, so he's upsetting the carpet a little bit more. Comes set from the chest, the 1-2 to Young. Ooh, beautiful slider for a strike. So Galley, with his third strikeout of the day, rings up Nick Young. So 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on for Evan Barnett. Another Parkview High School grad from Springfield, Missouri, just 21 years old, works at a grocery store. Two for 8 is Barnett, so hitting an even 250. In high school, Evan Barnett played for Bo Davis, who was the coach at Parkview at that time. Bo Davis, of course, played out here in the Grip and Rip for Austin Kendrick.
And he did. I was on that team.
The Shockers back in 2018. So kind of fitting, kind of serendipitous that Austin Kendrick would draft Barnett. Keeping that healthy connection between Parkview High School and the GRBL.
It's a breeding ground is what it is for Ducks.
Well, there's hey, there are occasionally some Mavericks that come out of there as well. Daniel England.
That's true.
Is also a Parkview grad. Mavericks manager. 1-2 to Barnett. Andy went at him high, and he just touched it foul. That was much more out of defense than going for a hit there. Well, the reconstructed pitcher's mound just continuing to slow the pace of the normally quick Andy Galley. Another 1-2 coming up here to Evan Barnett. Runners on first and second for the Ducks. They trail the Mets 2-1, top of the fourth. Whew. And they still trail 2-1. We're now in the middle of the fourth. Fourth strikeout of the day for Andy Galley. Third straight shutout inning for him. So 2-1 is the score. Mets will try to stretch their lead when we come back. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, live and free on YouTube. Big shout out to our legal sponsor, Tolbert Beetle.
What gets me out of bed every morning is the possibility of helping people. I want to give people back their peace of mind. I want to know they have a fighter in their corner when they've been a victim of someone else's negligence to help put their lives back together. I want them to know it's going to be okay. Our creed at Tolbert Beetle is tell them you need business. We want our clients to know that when they hire our law firm, the insurance companies are going to take them seriously. They're going to take their case serious. We leave no stone unturned in preparing a case. We are on the cutting edge of trial technology. We have 2 decades of trial experience in representing injured clients. We become a part of our client's struggle and take on that burden. We get our clients the justice they deserve. That's the rewarding part. The look on their face, their appreciation.
They know that our team has gone to battle for them and we have come out victorious. That is the most rewarding part.
We have carried their burden. We have walked in their steps. We have fought their fight.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Justin Parker comes to bat for the Springfield Metropolitans to face Ben Van Gorp. Mets have a 2-1 lead. Put up a couple of runs in the third. So Ben Van Gorp, like his counterpart Andy Galley, has the ball in hand. He will get the 3+ designation for the Ozark Mountain Ducks today. Both teams will still have to make 2 Henry's Towing pitching changes. But before this one is over, any reliever who comes on will be restricted to no more than 3 innings of work. And there is some activity in the Mountain Ducks pen as John Art's up and throwing down there in left field. 0-2 from Van Gorp to Parker. Swung on and lifted. This is going to be tough. It gets over the head of the shortstop, Young. Great piece by Justin Parker. Just taking advantage of the space there.
Great hit.
Behind the shortstop and in front of the left fielder. So he is aboard for Clay Murphy, who has inched his way up in the batting order. He was in the 10 spot for the Mets for the first half of the season. He hit 8th last week. Now he's batting 7th. So his production being rewarded just a little bit. Murphy, 7 for 18. All of them are singles.
I bet he likes being out there hitting too.
Oh yeah, this is what he wanted to do. You know, he was predominantly a pitcher for the Mountain Ducks when he broke in 2020, but said, "Hey, I want to get some opportunities to bat. You know, I want to be a closing pitcher rather than a starter. I want to play the infield a little more. Really be a two-way player." Taking a look at the number on Justin Parker. That was the 44th base hit of his career, which I believe makes him 3rd all-time in that category. Clay Murphy takes a walk. That's going to bring up Harrison Broadstreet, so here we go. Another chapter of Broadstreet versus Van Gorp about to pop off. Broadstreet from Hannibal LaGrange College, finished in 2014. Hit .296 at LaGrange. Looked at one up. So 1-0 to Street. Van Gorp comes home. Again, missed the high fastball, so 2-0.
Ben's worked himself into a little bit of trouble here already.
Yeah, it's not the ideal situation when you give the guy the 3+ tag and then 2 runners get aboard quickly. See how long Austin Kendrick will let this go on, perhaps before he goes out to make a Phoenix home health mound visit. The 3-0 pitch is in for a strike as Broadstreet kept the bat on the shoulder all the way. Ooh,
good pitch.
Chased there. We are full up. So Van Gorp battling back. Big situation here in the 4th. 1-run ball game. Mountain Ducks and Mets. Payoff pitch. He walked him. That is back-to-back free passes out of the hand of Ben Van Gorp. Nobody out. This is where the Mets are dangerous. You know, a week ago, had a very pedestrian tie ball game going into what was their final inning on baseball, or check that, that was the high noon game. Yeah, against Moon City. Ended up winning the game 8-1. Put up a crooked 6 runs in the 9th. This is a Mets team that can jump on you and jump in a hurry. Bases loaded for Jonah Williamson. U.S. Forest Service wildland firefighter looks at a strike. Jonah pops this one. If it stays on the playing surface, Young has
What
a
a play.
chance, and he just reached up and took that right out of the air and then avoided a collision with his teammate Mark Blim. That is spectacular.
What a play.
Matter of fact, let's go ahead and call that our Big Whiskey's big catch of the game. Big Whiskey's American Restaurant and Bar, locations in Ozark, Nixa, and of course, Springfield. Great place to watch a game or just unwind after the game. And Nick Young, our Big Whiskey's big catch. Justin Loudon with an RBI base hit out to right. This could score 2. Mets do send Murphy home. He goes in standing up, and just like that, it is 4-1. Justin Loudon swung at the first pitch, sent it out there into right, and gets 2 RBIs.
Hit that ball hard, too.
So 4-1. Metropolitans stretching the lead. Runners on the corners now. Still 1 out. Ooh. Took a long look at where that pitch went inside. 1-0 from Van Gorp. He again worked him in. This is a chopper to short. Young, the shortstop, up with it. Smart decision there, I think, to just go ahead and take the out. Second time today, Brashler has grounded out to the shortstop as another run comes across. So 5-1. Metropolitans out in front, trying to add to it some more. Harrison Waters has been very good. 8 for 20. 2 batted in. Swung out of his shoes at the fastball there. It's foul. So here he hit .307 in his 4 years at Drury University. Was a starter all 4 years at the Division II level. Runner on second is Loudon. They're not doing much to hold him. Waters back in that left-handed batter's box, 1-1. A week ago, Harrison Waters just came up a home run shy of a natural cycle.
Dang.
Two-one pitch ran in. That got away from Phillips, allowing Loudon to move up. So he's now at third. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs on the board. Mets with 3 runs so far this inning, leading 5-1. Van Gorp's pitch. Fastball in, puts Harrison Waters on. That is 4 walks for Van Gorp in the game. And it doesn't get easier. Zach Young had an RBI triple in the 3rd. This will bring up a Phoenix Home Health mound visit as Austin Kendrick out to talk to Van Gorp. This is a manager-pitcher combination with a lot of history in this league. And Austin Kendrick, a big believer in Van Gorp, just out here to settle him. Next visit would be the hook. Arts continuing to throw with purpose out there.
He's been out there a while now.
Those warm-up throws with some pace. Fastball from Van Gorp to Zach Young misses low. No pitch. He checked it. Ball 2. Zach Young went to Missouri State University. 38 years old. First year here in the Grip and Rip, but had a long career in amateur baseball. Van Gorp and a slider in there for a strike.
Pretty good pitch.
Phillips threw a check throw. And Loudon scampering back to third base. No real intent to get the out there, just perhaps sending a message. Van Gorp came set and dealt. Another nice one. Working Young low in the zone. Deuce is wild, 2-2-2. From the chest. Up to the arm slot. A ball low to load the count. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Zach Young. Strikeout number 4 on the day for Ben Van Gorp, but not before the Metropolitans hung 3 runs on the board to take a 5-1 lead. We will head to the 5th inning. Back with more of the Grip and Rip Baseball League right after this. Have to say a special thank you to the sponsors of today's broadcast. That would be Central Bank of the Ozarks.
When times are tough, you turn to the people you trust. For more than 100 years, Central Bank has weathered many a storm, and through it all, shown what it means to be a true community bank. Our people are working right now to keep your money moving, to keep your businesses strong, to keep our community strong. Central Bank has been named a Forbes magazine top 100 bank for 12 years in a row. When we say strong roots, we mean it. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Acme Towing Company. That's too far away.
Let Henry's do it.
Nah, we're ready to close.
Let Henry's do it.
Henry's is ready to take your call right now. From compacts to semis, Henry is here to help 24/7. Save yourself the hassle and make us your first call. Henry's gets there fast, offering multiple locations to serve the Ozarks. When you're stuck on the side of the road, make the right call. Let Henry do it.
Springfield Metropolitans stick with the right-handed veteran Andy Galley from Indiana State. Played professionally in the Frontier for the Gateway Grizzlies, and then has gone on to play in the amateur ranks in both the Montclair League in his native Illinois and here in the GRBL. So Galley out for the 5th. Will be his final inning of eligibility today. But now working with a cushion, Brandon Shipman. It's
quite a cushion.
It's a little bit freeing to go out there when you've got a 4-run lead.
The Ducks have some work to do now.
So Brandon Freeman steps up here. He has been hitting very well for the boys in blue, but certainly aware of what he's up against here with Galley. Came into the day 5 for 9. He is 5 for 10 now, so Hitting an even 500 is the sewer engineer from Spokane, Missouri. It's already equaled his hit total from a season ago. Best year was 2019. He had 6 hits, but that was in 27 ABs. Oh, straight back, man. If we would have had the window open, maybe I could have.
It was right to us.
1-2 after Freeman's foul ball. He reaches out and pokes this one in the air center field, charging in to get that as Brashler. And credit the airline pilot there, got a great jump on the ball, allowing him to get there and make the play in time.
Yeah, that carried a little further than I thought it was going to.
Noticed a couple of fly balls, and you think, maybe on a calm day that's going to dip in and be a base hit, but not today. So Ben Van Gorp flew out to left last time. Ducks trail the Mets 5-1. We're in the 5th.
What a pitch. Wow.
Beauty on that inner half. Ahead 0-2 here. BVG steps out. Galley on that rubber. He's ready to go. Loves to work fast. Kicks and delivers. Van Gorp chased outside. And that is just another chapter in the story of when Andy Galley is on. How good can he be? That is 5 strikeouts for him. He scattered 5 hits, but apart from giving up those 2 doubles in the first, he has really been ahead of the Mountain Ducks all day long. Devin Phillips, number 10 hitter. He and his wife Zoe have 6 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, wow, how are you walking upright, let alone playing baseball? He gives a lot of credit to his wife. He says she's a fantastic mom and a very good teammate, allowing him to be out here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, ground ball. Jonah Williamson, the shortstop, handles that. So 3 up, 3 down. Andy Galley's day on the pitcher's mound is complete. Again, gave up 1 earned run, scattered 5 hits, struck out 5, didn't walk anybody. So just vintage Andy Galley right there. What a performance for him. And the Metropolitans lead 5-1. Brandon and I are back right after this. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, and it's live and free right here on YouTube.
I'm Nicole Hartnell with the Bank of Missouri. Whether you're looking to pay bills or make a big purchase, sometimes you need cash quickly to take that next step. A consumer loan might be a perfect option to help you live well, bank well. Sadie McClendon, one of our branch managers, is here to explain.
Thank you, Nicole. We provide personal consumer loans for almost any purpose, from building your credit to financing that new car. We offer competitive rates, and decisions are made locally so we can get you the money that you need quickly. But what makes our consumer loans unique is that personal touch. For example, I recently worked with a customer to secure a loan for a horse trailer. He could have went elsewhere, but he chose to work with his bank because of that personal relationship that we've built with him. Being able to work with your personal banker that you know and trust makes a big difference.
That's right, because we work with our customers to help them live well, bank well. Get started at bankofmissouri.com.
Five to 1 is the score. Springfield Metropolitans hold the advantage on the Ozark Mountain Ducks as we head to the bottom of the 5th. I'm Rance Berger. My partner for this one, Brandon Shipman. And Shippy, Ben Van Gorp, back out to work. 5th and final inning that he can pitch in this game. Mountain Ducks continuing to keep John Arts loose. Looks like he's just ready to come in if and when the situation should dictate it.
But yep, he's just playing catch now.
I think they would like to save his entrance for the 6th, if at all possible. So if you're Ben Van Gorp, this is not, you got your 100th strikeout, but other than that, it's not the start you wanted. You've just got to limit the damage here.
Right. Yep, just got to get out of this inning and let the bullpen do the rest of the work.
And hopefully get some run support if you're a Mountain Ducks fan. Steve Aldridge steps in Looked at a breaking ball inside for ball one. It'll be Aldridge, Rodriguez, and Parker, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. A little bit of a row of pretty fair bangers here for the Metropolitans. Steve, one of the few Mets who decided sleeves would be in the wardrobe today with the special Los Mets jerseys. 1-1, swung on, grounded up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. So Steve Aldridge, 3 for 3 on the day with an RBI, making up for lost time.
Have a game.
So Aldridge now 7 hits on the season. League leaders have 9 base hits through 5 games. Now, what is this body language? We're seeing shrugging arms and hands from both Van Gorp and the batter David Rodriguez. BVG responds by sending ball one inside. David Rodriguez grew up in Caracas, Venezuela. Played at a baseball academy there. That's kind of that's sort of just how baseball works in Venezuela. And from that academy was discovered and signed to Campbellsville University. That's in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Played 4 years there. So that was the ticket that brought him to the United States to get his education. And David worked hard, wanted to stay here in the U.S. Got married. He and his wife have 2 kids. His son Fabi can usually be spotted running around the ballpark at one time or another during David's games. Fabi's a soccer player, I understand. Una futbolista. Rodriguez down 1-2 to the veteran Van Gorp. Whoa. Checked his swing at a cement mixer. It looked like it either touched the handle of the bat.
It was a foul ball for sure.
Not what Rodriguez wanted. So another 1-2. That time Van Gorp worked him outside. An inside-out swing sends it foul into the screen. David has walked 5 times this season. Very good at plate vision and working the zone is David Rodriguez. Swings and chops this one into play. Shortstop Nick Young.
Great play.
Gets Rodriguez by a step. That was fantastic for the first out. So the runner does motor up into scoring position. That's Steve Aldridge. All right, check that. That's actually Calvin Dreyer running for Steve Aldridge.
Yep.
Courtesy run. It's going to bring up Justin Parker. 1 for 2 today is JP. 7 hits on the season. 44 for the career. Looked at a strike. Has a share of the single season record for base hits with 16. Did that over the course of 9 games back in 2017. Chops this one to third. Todd Tolbert came up with it and then overthrew the first baseman Freeman. So they've got, Tolbert in there for, no, that's Owens. Check that.
Yeah.
My apologies. King Owens be charged with the E. So E5. First and third, 1 out. Just kind of how it's been going for the Ducks here. Little things just falling the way for the Mets. Clay Murphy looked at ball 1. Murphy walked last time. Lined out to the first baseman his first time. Woo-hoo. Swung at some inside cheese there.
Good pitch.
Inside out swing for a foul ball. So Clay Murphy, of the 3 years he's been out here, his best year batting was 2020 when he was with the Mountain Ducks, had 7 hits. But he has already surpassed that, or he has matched that rather, here in 2022, but has done it in a lot less time. Five fewer plate appearances to be exact. 2-2 here against Van Gorp. Ooh, reached out and chased, but just touched it.
Staying alive. Oh, there goes the mound.
I say it might be my imagination, but I think the wind is picked up out of the north. I was looking at the flag and then just looking at the players' jerseys. Again, 20 miles per hour, the max out of the north. And this noon game will actually have some of the most intense wind of the day. Just taking a look at the forecast. Wind is supposed to die off, but it's going to be out of the north all afternoon and into the evening for baseball night in the Ozarks. But right now it's howling. That's that less than scientific check of the weather powered by A&L Electric. It's sunny. It's nice. It doesn't really feel like autumn out there.
It is a beautiful day, though.
77 degrees here in Ozark, Missouri. Another 2-2 coming to Clay Murphy. Breaking ball grounded up the middle. Nick Young, the shortstop, shovels to Lewis at second, and the Mountain Ducks turn 2. The 6-4-3 gets him out of the inning and keeps the deficit 5-1. Springfield Mets have the lead. We will go to the 6th. Both teams are going to have to make Henry's Towing pitching changes when we come back. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League, live and free all afternoon long on YouTube.
Team jersey? Check. Face paint? Check. Go Bear! Throw lozenge? Check. Money for tickets? Ooh, better check.
With Great Southern Mobile Banking, it's easy to check your balance, move some money, even pay someone back. Download the Great Southern app and be in your seat by game time. Great Southern Bank. We're fans too. Download the mobile app today.
Check.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Hawkins with Key Cornerstone Realty, here to help with all your real estate needs in the St. Louis area. Do you have a house you want to sell for top dollar? We can help. With over 15 years of experience, our negotiating skills and expertise can help buyers and sellers get under contract fast. Contact us at keycornerstonerealty.com or call us at 636-447-8661. And go Locos!
So with a 5-1 lead here in the top of the 6th, the Springfield Metropolitans will make their first of at least 2 Henry's Towing pitching changes. They call him the right-hander out of Walnut Grove, Missouri. From McKendree University, Jaron Dishman. Dish, a baseball coach on the staff at Baptist Bible College in Springfield. Has a lot of experience playing in this ballpark. Spent a summer with the Route 66 Stars at the Show Me Collegiate League. And so far, his rookie season of GRBL baseball has been all right. 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs on 8 hits. He has struck out 6, walked 4. So the ERA sits at 6.00. That's been coming down. Helped out just last week, September 18th, coming back off of a game where he exited with an injury. Got an inning in against the Moon City Mavericks. No earned runs, no hits, no strikeouts, no walks. Just serving up some balls to his fielders, letting them do the work.
That's how you got to do it.
Getting himself a nice clean inning, a nice rebound back from a little trouble he ran into on September 11th. He's playing pretty well, trying to set up a double play. Fielded a ball that was hit back to him kind of on the first base side of the mound. And when he turned and stepped to throw to the second baseman, just kind of fell off the mound, landed awkwardly, left the game with a little bit of lower body discomfort. Kind of a better safe than sorry kind of move to lift him out of the game, I felt like. But Jaron Dishman, Walnut Grove's own. And a pinch hitter comes to the plate for the Ozark Mountain Ducks in the Anderson Engineering leadoff spot. This is Tyler Tate. Second-year man out of Arkansas Tech looks at a strike. Tate now lives in Nixa, Missouri, but originally is from Fort Smith, Arkansas. Looked at a two-seamer outside for a ball. Tate 3 for 10. So averages at 300. Was 5 for 13 a season ago with the Mountain Ducks, largely coming off the bench, and all of those hits occurred in the postseason.
Yeah,
he was on fire.
He was
for
so hot.
2 playoff games. It's kind of ribbing him a little bit before the opener. Just ran into him down on the field, and I said, Mr. Tate, I hope you're aware, hits in the regular season are allowed and welcomed here. I'm sure your skipper, Austin Kendrick, would appreciate that. So he's getting into it. Tyler Tate really takes the hitting part of his game seriously. 3-hopper, Harrison Broadstreet again.
Great play.
Had to adjust, like the ball didn't quite carry him the way he thought it would, so really had to reach that glove hand out. But the ball ended up in the mitt, and he gets the first out. Barber John, Big Country John Arts. Mountain Ducks trail 5-1. Dittman, high leg kick, comes home with the two-seam fastball for a strike. It's a good pitch against the lefty. Arts laces one, but it's right at the shortstop. Jonah Williamson took one step, made the catch, so 2 down. Doesn't get easier for Dishman. Here comes Skylar Carter. All-time leader in the grip and rip in hits. 65 of them. He is now 7 for 18 here in 2022. 3 of those are extra base hits. Whew, swung out of his cleats.
He swung hard.
Had some gas there.
He was going for it.
Dishman worked him low.
He wants to get that extra base hit.
Well, now the nibbling is on a little bit here. 1-1. Dishman fell off first base side. Not sure if that was the carpet coming loose or if he just stepped off oddly.
It's hard to tell the way that carpet looks out there. I mean, it looks like it has some.
Looks like there's a low spot.
Yeah.
But and Dishman stands, way over on that first base side of the rubber. May have just, when that lead foot struck, there's a little bit of give to it. Went inside. Carter lifts one. Way out into right it goes, but Zach Young able to adjust and make the catch. So that is 3 up and 3 down. A nice inning for relief pitcher Jaron Dishman, and it maintains a 5-1 lead for the Springfield Metropolitans. Shippy and I are back with more Grip and Rip baseball right after this. Live and free all day long on YouTube. Hey, do us a favor. If you're enjoying the Grip and Rip, tell your friends because we depend on repeat business.
I'm Nicole Cartmel with the Bank of Missouri. Whether you're looking to pay bills or make a big purchase, sometimes you need cash quickly to take that next step. A consumer loan might be a perfect option to help you live well, bank well. Sonia McClendon, one of our branch managers, is here to explain.
Thank you, Nicole. We provide personal consumer loans for almost any purpose, from building your credit to financing that new car. We offer competitive rates, and decisions are made locally so we can get you the money that you need quickly. But what makes our consumer loans unique is that personal touch. For example, I recently worked with a customer to secure a loan for a horse trailer. He could have went elsewhere, but he chose to work with his bank because of that personal relationship that we've built with him. Being able to work with your personal banker that you know and trust makes a big difference.
That's right, because we work with our customers to help them live well, bank well. Get started at bankofmissouri.com.
It's another Henry's Towing pitching change. This one by the Ozark Mountain Ducks. They go to the pen and call on the left-hander from Salem, Missouri by trade, a Barber, but he has been mowing them down and clipping hitters here in the GRBL in 2022. John Arts. Thus far, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts against 3 walks, a 2.7 ERA. But he was very effective a week ago against the previously unbeaten Nixa Suckers through 3 shutout innings, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 2, didn't walk anybody. Arts was absolutely dealing against a Nixa club that entered that game as the hottest hitting and highest scoring team in the league. But Arts, a big reason why the Suckers took their first loss of 2022 a week ago.
John didn't even want to pitch this year. Before the year even started, he said that he'll tell Austin he'll pitch, if they need him, but he doesn't want to.
They needed him.
They needed him.
After Nick Young, was a guy who was going to pitch 4 and 5 innings per week easy, and oh no, miscommunication. We got Broadstreet messing with the batter's box. You got Phillips trying to throw the ball to Arts.
I don't even know what just happened.
So there were 4 guys involved in that, and none of them were communicating effectively. 1-0 here. John Arts to Harrison Broadstreet comes set. Kicks and deals. Off the chest of the third baseman. Owens. Young up with it. Will not get the throw to Tolbert in time. Great effort by Young as King Owens absolutely got blistered by a baseball there. Yeah, you got to go hit on that. I mean, Broadstreet essentially hit it right through King Owens. No fault on King's part there. He's going to be black and blue tomorrow. So Broadstreet is on for Jonah Williamson, number 9 man in the Mets order. They lead 5-1 here, bottom of the first. Ducks infielders playing in a little bit on the corners. Outfield pretty well straight away. 1-0 from Arts, ran in to make it 2-0. Jonah went to North Arkansas College, pulls one. That's going to go foul for strike 1. Played in 32 games for the Pioneers in 2018. 24 hits, 17 batted in. Went into played in the grip and rip. As he wears one in 2018, following his college career. And then went away to join the U.S. Army for a couple years, but he's back in the grip and rip. And now he's at first, so first and second. Nobody out for the Mets, and Calvin Dreyer pinch hits in Justin Loudon's spot in the order. Another North Arkansas College alumnus, Calvin Dreyer. That's another one of those, talent pipelines. There's not anything really formal in place. Just a lot of guys who went to North Ark and played junior college baseball find their way into the GRBL. That ran inside. Dreyer 4 for 17, 2 singles, 2 doubles, 1 run batted in. 1-1 here against John Arts. Kicks and comes home. Strike 2 on the outer half.
Good pitch.
Looks in, gets the sign from Devin Phillips. John Arts from up high. Oof. Not a lot of break on that breaking ball.
Yeah, breaking ball that didn't want to move.
Like maybe just came out of his hand a little earlier than intended. 2-2. That was more what he wanted, but Dreyer did not oblige and chase one in the dirt, so it's 3-2. Cal usually pretty good at working pitchers. No batting gloves. No sleeves today.
No sleeves or batting gloves.
The 3-2 is down, and Dreyer takes the free pass. So an infield single, a hit batsman, and a walk. And the bases are loaded. That's going to send Phillips out to have a short meeting with his, and yeah, Austin Kendrick is now going to go out and make a Phoenix Home Health mound visit with John Arts. It's nobody out, volatile situation. And yeah, if you're the Mountain Ducks, 5-1 is recoverable, especially in this league.
It is. It's getting late though.
Let's say 7-1, 8-1. That's a much, yeah. Road's a lot rougher. Now Phillips back out. I would have to think this is just going over signs with a runner on second. So bases juiced, nobody out. Big opportunity for Jared Brashler.
Good hitter too.
Yep, 44 base hits in his career. GRBL. Chops one back. Yet to record an RBI here in 2022. 14 for the career. Down 0-1 after that foul ball. Woo. I am not sure what on earth that was.
I don't know what happened. Ball just went.
Did Brashler foul the ball, or did it went straight, almost straight up in the air? Phillips, the catcher, was looking for it. Brashler didn't know where it went. Well, must have fouled it. It's 0-2.
All right.
Sure.
There's an answer to the question.
That's why the umpire's right there, and we're way up here. 0-2 pitch. That's way outside. Great job by Phillips to stab it. Did the full 360-degree spin in doing so. Rear end there. Presence by Phillips. The 1-2 swung on, sent right side. Lewis, the second baseman, with it. His only play is at first. Got the ball to Todd Tolbert for the out, but Harrison Broadstreet comes across. It is 6-1 for the Mets.
1 out, too. They were still in a tough situation.
So that leaves first base open, but it keeps 2 men in scoring position. Got the speedy Williamson and then Calvin Dreyer. Second, Harrison Waters, the batter. Big week last week. He's been on today. He's been hit by a pitch and has walked. Flew out to the center fielder Carter, his first time up back in the first inning. And he doesn't get to see a lot of lefties, so I know that is sometimes frustrating for Waters, he has said. He said, you know, I should be able to handle lefties. I'm just out of practice. But he's ahead here against Arts. 2-0, and then Waters sends this one. Tailing down, that will drop. A base hit for Waters and an RBI. Make that 2 RBIs as Dreyer comes across. 8-1 is the score now as Harrison Waters cleans the sheets.
Now the Ducks have a hard path back.
Credit the Mets for pouncing, recognizing opportunity when opportunity knocks. This is a big game for Springfield in terms of trying to win their division.
Oh, for sure.
Playoff implications and perhaps even beyond that for the Mets. Arts hits the outer half against Zach Young for a strike. So Harrison Waters with that hit jumps into a tie for the lead. 9 hits on the season. That's him, Trent Simpson, and Courtney Spitz. We'll see the latter two gentlemen later today. So 4 runs batted in for Waters. 11 now for his career. So into the double digits in the RBI column is Harry. 2 here for Zach Young. Had an RBI triple in the third. Out swinging last time up. Looked at a ball down. It's 2-2. Short lead for Harrison Waters off of first base against the lefty John Arts.
He's barely off that bag at all.
Arts came with a breaking ball. Yeah, Waters can run. Just being smart here, especially with 1 out on the board, I think. 3-2. Zach Young lifts this one way up deep.
Oh, that's carrying.
Goes Carter, and that is out of here.
Gone.
Zach Young, a home run for the Springfield Metropolitans. It's the 4th time a ball has gone out of this stadium here in 2022. That, I believe, is a league record. It's the first homer in the career of Zach Young at 38 years old. Sends out the long ball. Yeah, he just got all of that, and that ball just carried and carried and carried.
2 of his hits today have just carried out that same direction.
So the big day continues for the Mets. They are up 10-1, and then Arts is rattled as he throws one behind Steve Aldridge. Steve's got an RBI today.
Three hits, doesn't he?
3 for 3. Finished out, we talked about his low A career, actually finished out at high A in 1994 in Greensboro. Bats are now the Greensboro Grasshoppers, but when Steve was there, they were the Greensboro Bats. The stadium they played in was about 90 years old. Swings and sends this one to the second baseman. Lewis up with it. It's the first time all day Aldridge has been retired, and he ran with the bat
the whole way down.
Well, hey, you got to protect your sporting goods.
Now batting for 17, David Rodriguez.
David Rodriguez comes up next. Swings and sends this one foul. Two outs on the board. Just making sure I had that correctly. Yeah, Brashler made the first out. Got a Ribby out of the deal, though.
Big inning.
5 and counting for the Mets. Yeah, they do have 9 hits. That's right. So 10 runs on 9 hits. That's a pretty big day.
Yeah, they played real well. Good defense.
Got a great pitching outing from Andy Galley. That kind of thing gets lost when you put 10 runs on the board.
Right.
We're going to sit here and talk about offense a lot, I'm sure, before this one is over. As David Rodriguez gets the free pass. So he is on for Justin Parker, and the inning continues. So 2 outs. Parker, 1 for 3 today. Chased. That ball was down and out of the zone. JP took a hack like he's just hungry to keep feeding quarters into the carousel. got to be tough, when you sit there and you're up later in an inning, but you watch your teammates almost bat around. You're just itching to get out there, right? You smell blood. 0-2. Parker swings and pokes one. That is tailing down. That is a base hit for Parker out into right field. And then as Evan Barnett took a beat to come up with the baseball, Parker legs it out for a double. So Justin Parker's got 2 hits today. Like we said, keeps the merry-go-round going. Second and third are the runners. Clay Murphy bats. First base is unoccupied. Murph grounded into a double play last time. Whew. High fastball up and out. Be interesting to see if the Mets, they may opt to rest Clay Murphy's pitching arm today. Grounder goes up the middle. Arts kicked it, knocked it down, and then makes the throw over to first in time. So a little bit of Copa Mundial, some World Cup football there from John Arts. 5 runs go up for the Springfield Metropolitans, including a blast out into the center part of left center field off the bat of Zach Young. A monster home run, and it is 10-1. Los Mets in the lead. Back with more right after this. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League.
When Gary and Sandra Henry started Henry's Towing nearly 5 decades ago, customers knew that Henry would be the guy coming to help. People would call and ask to let Henry do it. And as Springfield has grown, our family has grown as well. So there's always someone around to come help you out. Everyone at Henry's is a member of the family, fully trained and as dependable as the original. With a family this size, help is always right around the corner. So if you find yourself in need of roadside assistance, remember to call the name you've grown to know and trust. Remember to let Henry do it.
Yeah, Grandma. Getting a word in edgewise with Grandma isn't always easy. Depositing her birthday check from your phone, on the other hand,
Of course I deposited the check.
surprisingly easy.
Yeah. It's in there. Yeah.
Mobile check deposit with the Great Southern mobile app. Easy. Download the app today.
So we worked to 1-2-3 last time out. Jaron Dishman rewarded with a trip back out to the pitcher's mound for Los Mets, who lead 10-1 over the Ozark Mountain Ducks. The big offensive output continues for the Mets. They were 8-1 winners over Moon City a week ago. They are up 10-1 here as we get ready to start the stretch inning. 3 innings to go. Jaron Dishman will face Tony Lewis. Was going to be Mark Blem, but King Owens is up in the on-deck circle. So a defensive replacement, just a straight-up swap there. Then it should be Nick Young. Dishman fires strike 1 to the Godfather, Tony Lewis.
Feels like it's been a long time since we've seen the Ducks batting.
Well, that was a long 6th inning as the Metropolitans put up 5 runs. They were 1 man shy of batting all the way around, but they used all 10 spots in the order to score those 5. Lewis tried to make up 9 runs with 1 swing there.
He sure did.
Somebody's got to tell him that's mathematically impossible. 1-2 here to the Godfather, the founder of the Grip and Rip Baseball League, when his pro career finished out in Quebec in the Can-Am. 1-2 pitch. Woo, Dishman wanted it, did not get the call.
It's a good pitch.
Tony Lewis. Ooh, inside out swing, fouls it back. Yeah, played for Quebec, the Quebec Capitals in the Can-Am League in 2004. They won a championship that year. One of his teammates was former Cy Young Award winner Eric Gagne.
Really?
That was kind of the story of Tony's debut in Quebec. He had signed with the team mid-season because of injuries, so he had been playing in Toronto in the IBL. So went to Quebec, got there. They said, "Hey, you're not in the starting lineup," but ended up in the game. And Eric Gagne was on the hill as he flies out to right field. King Owens stand in here with one out. Owens from Fordland, Missouri, not quite as exotic as Quebec.
Not quite.
Went to Evangel University. Played high school ball at Fordland, so small school, Class 1. As a result, do a little bit of everything as a high schooler. It's that well-roundedness that he has brought here to the Grip and Rip. Got the first hit of 2022 for him last week, so he's 1 for 7. Breaking ball, make that
nice
2
hit.
for 8, and that's how you fix your batting average. Nice piece there for King Owens out into left field. So, hey, a few more hits, and that, my friend, is what you call a hitting streak. Nick Young looking to get something going. He has been cold so far in 2022 after getting 10 hits as a rookie in 2021. Nick Young, fun fact, also an accomplished bowler.
I did not know that.
Bowled 2 perfect games in league play in 2021. So actually, I worked at a bowling alley for quite a time. He's a construction worker now, but said, "Oh yeah, I did that. Worked, in the pro shop, drilling bowling balls, all the stuff, handing out shoes, sanitizing everything." Breaking ball there, up and out.
Looks like Austin Kendrick is pinch running. That means that King's probably warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's not quite made it to the pen. He's actually just playing catch in foul territory. The thing about Owens is he usually doesn't take long to warm up, but his ERA has not been great here in 2022. So maybe he should switch up the routine a little bit. Jaron Dishman ahead in the count against Nick Young. Couple of young guns here, and now time is called. Ball and 2 strikes when Young steps back in. 10-1 is the score. So Jaron Dishman, this outing is about personal gain for him to solidify a spot in the Mets pitching rotation, just in between Galley and Murphy. A little bit of redemption. Here's a 2-2. Oh, that is not redemption. That's a shot to the ribs. It's going to bring up Evan Barnett. First and second go the runners. If your Dish looked like just tried to throw a 2-seam fastball, and it started in and stayed in.
Yeah, it just ran a little bit too far in, and it looks like it got him right in the ribs.
Yeah, Young. That's going to hurt tomorrow. Evan Barnett grounds 1 foul, third base side. Now Dishman is going to go rearrange the living room carpet on the front of the pitcher's mound. Might have to call Stanley Steamer before this one's over. Oh and 1 to Barnett. 1 out, 2 runners on. Dishman's pitch swung on, grounded. Dishman off the mound to get it. He's going to make the play at first. And the flip. Plenty of time there to Calvin Dreyer for the second out.
He may have had to play a second.
Well, and that's one of those things, that was how that led to an injury for Dishman earlier in the season. So perhaps he thought wisely. It looked like he glanced over. Maybe he didn't think the fielders were going to get there in time for his liking. So, hey, when in doubt, take the safe out. Nothing and nothing for Todd Tolbert, pinch hitting for Freeman. Swung at strike one. 2 outs on the board. If Dishman can get Tolbert, that will still complete what's been a pretty good inning. It's a little bit over-the-top delivery on the fastball, really high arm slots, Jaron Dishman.
Yeah, he comes straight down.
The 1-1. Breaking ball there. I think Tolbert knew the breaking pitch was coming, just couldn't lay off of it anyway. 1-2. We'll see if Dish throws off speed again. He does. Breaking ball, strike 3. Tolbert down on strikes. And Jaron Dishman got in a little bit of a jam.
Got right out of it, though.
Got out. 10-1 is the score. Springfield Metropolitans lead the Ozark Mountain Ducks. It is time for the Sumit's Hot Yoga 7th inning stretch. At Sumit's Hot Yoga, you are going to feel awesome.
I need to change. My workouts are too boring.
Oh, I've got an amazing workout for you. Hot yoga. I've lost weight and I'm more flexible.
Try our community classes for only $8. Sumit's Hot Yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
So Henry's towing pitching change for the Ozark Mountain Ducks. Remember, if you are in need of roadside assistance or you're in a jam, remember to let Henry do it. Mountain Ducks trail by 9 runs. They will call on His Royal Highness King Owens. Well, in 2021, Brandon Shipman, you were there, you saw it. King Owens was very good. 16 innings, just 3 earned runs on 12 hits, struck out 10, walked 8, finished out with a 1.69 ERA. It has been a rough road for King Owens in 2022. 7 2/3 innings so far, 7 earned runs. He has given up 20 hits, struck out 3 and walked 4, and also hit 2 batters. So a high ERA of 8.22. Last outing was against the Suckers, and he needed it. He came on in the 9th. Mountain Ducks were up 6-2, and Owens shut the door. 1 inning, gave up no runs, 2 hits, and had a strikeout. So signs of life. King Owens is a guy with a lot of innings in this league. He has surpassed the 100 innings mark here in the Grip and Rip. Came into the year with a 3.19 career ERA, and he's been a little bit of everything. He's been a starter. He's been a closer. He's been an effective middle reliever. Has just really had a rough go of things here in 2022. And with this league with 7 regular season games, it takes but a very small sample size to really put a wrench in your statistics. And that has kind of been the story for Owens. He's gotten hit. That's just the simplest way to say it. Ahead here, 0-1 against Broad Street. Make that 1-1. It'll be Broad Street, Williamson, and Loudon for the Mets. Breaking pitch outside. The thing about Owens is he doesn't usually struggle to locate. Sometimes works deep into counts. But this is a season where batters have just put the ball into play against him. Got Broad Street to chase there.
Yeah, he needs a good outing here for sure.
And yeah, a score is 10-1. Forget the scoreboard for a second. If you're Owens, just need to get some outs, get some confidence. This game, probably a lost cause for the Mountain Ducks. Although, I have seen 11-run leads evaporate here in the GRBL, so not saying never. Broad Street hit the breaking ball. Oh, goodness. That's going to get beyond the reach of the third baseman, Van Gorp. Harrison Broad Street continuing to have himself a pretty nice day. That is back-to-back hits for Street. And so he is on. And, yeah, hits like that. That is kind of how the season has gone for King Owens.
Just put it where they're not.
Worked a 2-2 count, and just it's like the baseball has eyes. Jonah Williamson, number 9 hitter for the Mets, who lead by 9. Coming up today at 3, Branson Showman take on the Nixa Suckers in a South Division game.
Oh, man.
Jonah Williamson's first hit of the day goes beyond a diving third baseman, BVG. That will move the runner Broadstreet up to third. He is safe, and Williamson advances the row. So back-to-back hits for the Mets. Nobody out. Threatening again. 2 men into scoring position, trying to pad a lead. Pad their own stats, if you will. So yeah, Suckers 4-1, Showman 2-3, but a Branson win could keep them in play to still win the division. They'd need a little help, but it is possible. Calvin Dreyer steps in here for the Mets. Owens comes at him with the fastball, swung on, chopped, foul, left side. Dreyer puts one in the air to center field. Over to get that is Carter. Runner Broadstreet will not tag up as Tolbert, the first baseman, there to cut the throw behind the pitcher's mound. Nice, just a little bit too shallow, perhaps, into center field for Broadstreet's liking to take off and run.
Skyler's got a good arm out there, too, so.
Yeah, he does. He fielded it cleanly and was up throwing in a hurry. Ducks had set up well to try to keep the run off the board, so. Broadstreet decided not to try to make the first out at home. And, you know, when you're up by 9, you don't need ruthless aggression on the paths. 1-0 here to Brashler. Puts this one up. Carter again pressed into action. Boy, he did not get a good jump on the ball, but he makes a great throw. Again, Broadstreet stays put at third. Yeah, Carter took a couple steps in the wrong direction.
He sure did.
Before,
I thought that was going to get down in front of him.
You know, if we went back and retraced that route, I think it would look a little like a question mark. Nevertheless, 2 outs up. Harrison Waters is 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI single last time. 2 outs. Runners are at second and third. It is 10-1. Bottom of the 7th. Los Mets lead the Mountain Ducks. Fastball swung on. That will kick foul. Owens there to touch it up.
Smart play to let that go.
Yeah, I mean, his only chance there would have been to pick it just right off the bounce.
Yep.
You know, he just was maybe a step behind doing that. You know, King got over there in a hurry. But yeah, once that thing hit, let it carry him. 1-1. Owens pitch to Waters, runs outside. Think about the Mountains. There's a 2-1 as Waters lifts this one. That is tailing foul. You know, they're 3-2, so they've won more than they lost, but when they have lost, they have done so in spectacular fashion. At a 9-3 defeat at the hands of the Branson Showmen back on September 11th, and then Nixa Suckers got them, I think it was 13-2.
Oh, wow.
Was the outcome there. So feast or famine, if you will. Statistically speaking, Mountain Ducks struggle in games where they give up 9 or more runs. Just going to go out on a limb and say that's probably ill-conceived baseball planning there. 2-2. Owens to Waters. Sitting back on the breaking pitch, but he got under it. Nick Young ranging back. Carter charging in. Wouldn't you know it, right in the Bermuda Triangle it goes. 2 more runs come across for the Metropolitans. It's a Texas leaguer for Harrison Waters. And he will stay put on first base after, oh my goodness. It's just been that kind of day for the Mountain Ducks.
It has.
Waters did well, lifting that baseball into the air. (12-1). Here's Zach Young. Got hit by a pitch, an RBI triple in the 3rd. Struck out in the 4th, hit a 2-run bomb in the 6th. (1-0) from Owens. Caught the inner half for a strike.
That's a good pitch. It's also a good pitch.
Yeah, I feel for King Owens here. He's given up 2 runs. He's given up 1 base hit that just got over the third baseman's glove, another that went right down the line, and then that hit out into the tricky triangle there. Drops down and in for Harrison Waters as the Ducks turn the fielder's choice there to get the 3rd out. But yeah, just that kind of day. Ends up 2 earned runs there against his record on 3 hits, but they were 3 woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of hits. So we will head to the 8th. The score, Los Metropolitanos 12. Ozark Mountain Ducks 1. Back right after this.
My name is Paul Sunday with Big Whiskey's American Restaurant and Bar, started in Springfield, Missouri. I've always been under the impression you do what you're good at. I got started in the restaurant industry back when I was 18. The original Big Whiskey was established on Park Central East here, which happens to be Route 66. The concept of Big Whiskey is very simple. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We just wanted to do what others were doing better. We basically are a restaurant that celebrates our bar. We're a restaurant that celebrates sports. But more importantly, we're a restaurant that has a great food product. We won awards with our pasta dishes, our steaks, our wings, our buffalo chicken dip. People are going to think I'm cliche by saying, well, everything's good. What makes Springfield special to me, whenever I was younger, I used to say that it was big enough to get lost, but not big enough to lose yourself. So I think that it has all the attributes of a big city with, quite frankly, the quaintness of the folks that live inside it.
So Henry's towing pitching change for the Springfield Metropolitans. Definitely not a save situation here by any means as they lead the Ozark Mountain Ducks 12-1, but they will call upon their ace in the hole, Clay Murphy, to come out here and get some work done. So Clayton Murphy, the native of Wolf Lake, Illinois, he and his wife Lindsay and their son Clark now reside in Springfield, Missouri. And matter of fact, they've got a baby on the way any day now. I believe September the 28th is their due date. So with that in mind, that might be part of the decision here by Mets manager Brock Chaffin, leading by 11 runs, to go ahead and send Clay Murphy out here to throw and get some work in here today, with his status for next week and the last day of the regular season a little bit up in the air. So Clay Murphy, 18 innings pitched here in 2022. He's given up 3 earned runs on 9 hits, struck out 27. He has 92 strikeouts for his career, 5 walks, 1 wild pitch, leads the GRBL in earned run average amongst pitchers who have thrown at least 10 innings, a 1.5 ERA. Second pitch he throws to Ben Van Gorp is a ball. And Murphy threw 31 consecutive innings without allowing a run, a streak that started on October 18th, 2020 and ended August 28th of this year. He had a 0.0 ERA a season ago with the Moon City Mavericks en route to winning the Howard Bell Trophy. The 1-2 to Van Gorp. Woo, chased badly. That is a strikeout. That is number 28 on the season for Clay Murphy. That is number 93 for the career. It's going to bring up Devin Phillips. So coming into today, I did not think we'd see Murphy get 100, but I mean, he could. He could with the right determination as he fires a slider for a strike to Devin Phillips to go up 0-1. All he's got to do is strike out 8 of the 9 batters he is potentially in line to face in this game, and he'll be at the century mark.
If anyone can do it, though.
Tis but a light snack for a pitcher of this caliber, Clay Murphy. I don't think that's on his mind, but I do know he is aware of the numbers at play. The 1-1 to Phillips slider and a strikeout, so that's 2 batters. It was a 1-2, excuse me. So 2 batters face 2 strikeouts. He's at 94. Well, no, we're in the 8th.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, never mind. I was thinking 7th because he usually comes on in the 7th. But yeah, they did Galley for 5 today. Brock Chaffin just has me all discombobulated. He's doing things out of character all day long. But what has not been out of character is the offensive explosion for the Mets. 12 runs today.
13 hits.
13 hits. I think as a team, they've now got 60 hits in 2022 in 6 games. So, when you're getting 10 hits a game,
you're on winning some ball games.
Yeah, that's going to give your pitchers some ease and comfort. 2-0 to Tate. Well, he could ask Steve Aldridge to drop a couple of 3rd strikes. You don't want to do that. If you're the Mets, trying to go home with all the pieces intact at this point. 2-1 to Tate. Ran him up high for a strike. It's 94 and counting for Clay Murphy. 2-2-2. Woo.
There it is. Wow.
3 consecutive strikeouts for Clay Murphy. He's now at 95 for his career. He now has 30 for the season. So Murphy is dealing. We're back with the bottom of the 8th. Mountain Ducks looking for answers when we come back. It is the Grip and Rip Baseball League.
When times are tough, you turn to the people you trust. For more than 100 years, Central Bank has weathered many a storm, and through it all, shown what it means to be a true community bank. Our people are working right now to keep your money moving, to keep your businesses strong, to keep our community strong. Central Bank has been named a Forbes magazine top 100 bank for 12 years in a row. When we say strong roots, we mean it. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Hi, everyone. This is Bob Costas, and I'd like to tell you about an interesting new baseball book, A Year of Playing Catch by Ethan Bryan. A Year of Playing Catch is the story of how a lifelong fan was inspired to take a whimsical journey of discovery and the power of our national pastime to forge lasting connections. You can pick up your copy after any Ozark Mountain Ducks game or from your favorite bookseller or online. That's A Year of Playing Catch.
Speaking of Mr. Catch 365, Ethan Bryan has gone out to right field for the Ozark Mountain Ducks. They've got a little bit of a defensive realignment here. Tyler Tate is in left. It's still Skylar Carter at center with Bryan in right. Ben Van Gorp back to third base for another inning. Nick Young at short. Austin Kendrick is playing second base. And Todd Tolbert is at first. Yeah, you don't miss that. The big man, 6'4". An easy 200 goes AK. Yeah, he can play a little bit of everything. He's played left field. I've seen him play third base. He's a great defensive first baseman. I don't know that I've ever seen him play second.
I don't think I have.
We are about to. Here's Steve Aldridge as they set him up to pull. Aldridge stepped out of the way of a heater running in out of the right hand of King Owens. So Steve now 3 for 4 on the day, 3 singles and a run batted in. Here in the 8th, it'll be Aldridge, Rodriguez, and Parker. And Parker does have the helmet on, so Mets holding true to the scorecard for the moment. Aldridge has worked ahead 2-0. Breaking ball. Slapped it right side. Tolbert, the first baseman, with it, and then Owens came over to cover the ball. Ricocheted off his glove, and the scorer very quick to put an E1 up there. We'll bring up David Rodriguez as Aldridge is on for the 4th time today. It looks like he will run for himself this time. David Rodriguez has walked twice. He has grounded out twice today. So Poppy now 3 for 13. Swung at an inside pitch there, fouled it off. He's played for the Bald Knobbers, the Closers, the Rangers. Played with the Mets in 2020. Did not play in 21. Sends this one into right field. First hit for Rodriguez today. 4th on the season. A no doubt single out into right. So here's Justin Parker. Runners are on 1st and 2nd. And now Brock Chaffin going out there to courtesy run for the catcher, Aldridge. That's probably about an 80-pound upgrade. And Chaffin's a good base runner. You know, everybody looks at him and says, oh, yeah, that guy's 285 pounds. No way he's a runner. He's a deceptively good base runner, Brock Chaffin. Stole 5 bases in 7 games for the Mets in 2020. He said, stealing bases is not all about speed. It's about timing. It's about intelligence. Justin Parker lifts one in the air, left field. Back it goes.
That's gone.
And that is out of here. Justin Parker.
The hits keep coming.
Sends a bomb. Justin Parker puts one all the way up and yadier. A 3-run home run for Justin Parker. It is 15-1. He got all of that one. 41 years old. Justin Parker sends one.
He crushed that ball too.
Yeah, there was no doubt. It's, you know, probably about where he hit that over the Budweiser sign is Clay Murphy. That's not get out of here, but that's a gapper. Good job by Carter to get over there and cut that off. 2nd home run for the Mets today.
Have we ever had 2 home runs in one game before?
I know we've had it in a preseason jamboree. I don't know that it's ever happened in a regular season game. This is Harrison Broadstreet. 15-1 as Broadstreet grounds one to Kendrick. They get the first out. They will not turn 2. So a 4-6 fielder's choice in the books. $15-1. Just another avalanche of scoring by the Springfield Metropolitans. But that is a moment, you know, regardless of the situation, Justin Parker will forever remember the day he hit one over that 16-foot wall down out in left field. Jonah Williamson swings one foul. So yeah, it's probably about, I would say, around 345, maybe 350 feet at the spot where it exited. And then that wall is 16 feet high.
It's a tough ballpark to get one out of.
I mean, we've had entire seasons here in the Grip and Rip where a baseball did not leave the park.
For sure.
We have had 5 get out now in 2022. Call the laboratory, I say. Down on strikes goes Jonah Williamson. Little bright spot there by King Owens.
Now batting number 12, Calvin Dreyer.
So here's Calvin Dreyer, 10th man in the order. 2 outs. Pitch from King Owens is a strike. Sure, credit the wind all you want to, but Justin Parker absolutely had to get a hold of that to send it out of here. 3 home runs, or we've had 5 home runs on the season. 3 of them belong to the Springfield Mets. Dreyer chased the 1-1. He was trying to go for the 4th. 1-2 now. Breaking pitch. Dreyer lifts this one up. That's going to be trouble if it drops, and it will. Ethan Bryan, the right fielder, the one to come up with it. Calvin Dreyer singles out to right. That will keep this inning going. It'll keep the bad dream alive for the pitcher, King Owens.
There's just nothing that's stopping the bleeding right now.
Now batting number 6, Jared Brashler.
Top of the order, the Anderson Engineering at leadoff spot. Jared Brashler, runners on the corners, 2 outs. Is his 6th plate appearance of the day. Score sheet goes without saying is a hot mess. But there are 17 base hits, 18 base hits now, and counting for the Mets on it. Mountain Ducks, by contrast, have had 6 hits and have 1 run to show for it all the way back in the first. It has been all Mets ever since. 15 unanswered runs. 1-1 to Brash. Thought about it, left the bat on the shoulder. It's now 1-2. Breaking pitch, swung on and fouled off. Another 1-2 on the way. That was a slider.
Looked like a good pitch from here, but
we're look all right.
From here.
Yes, exactly. Look, when it's 15-1, I'm not saying strike zones get wider or taller or anything like that,
but they do.
Yeah,
we're not saying they do, but they do.
There's got to be a little give and take. Full count payoff pitch. Brashler
it doesn't stop.
Continues the hitting, and the Mets continue the scoring. Broad is home plate. Now it's 16-1, and Jared Brashler gets an RBI. That is 3 of those for him today. That's actually his first hit.
I don't think I've seen an offensive explosion in one game
this has
in
been,
this league ever in all the time I've watched games.
I'm running out of words to describe it. It's violence. Violence. Bats meeting baseballs. Waters.
And they're solid, hard hits, too. It's not like they're just, getting lucky. Like, they're hitting the ball hard. Yeah. I mean, there's been some luck.
Sure. I mean,
but there always is. It's baseball.
A couple of home runs, but they've had extra base hits. They're also they're taking advantage. They're getting some 2-out runs across.
And their pitching's been so good.
And yeah, Galley, Dishman, and Murphy have all been very good, in spite of having to sit and take some pretty long breaks.
Right.
1-2 to Harrison Waters. Runners are on first and second. 2 outs. Owens just trying to get out of here. That one's up and out to the lefty. Two. Waters drives this one. That's going to be trouble out into right center field. They will send one more run across. It's another RBI for Harrison Waters. He is now on a 3-hit streak. He has batted 4 runs across today himself. It is now 17-1. 4 runs this inning for the Mets and counting here in the 8th. Austin Kendrick goes and has a quick visit with Owens. And the Mets send up Zach Young. Breaking ball. Did not catch the zone. It's 2-0. Zach Young keeps the hits alive. That is a single into center. Brashler comes across. Make that 18-1. That is 4 consecutive singles by Metropolitans batters. 3 consecutive scoring plays.
Not a pitching change here.
And yes, Austin Kendrick is going to go to the pen, and it looks like we've got a right-hander. This is Mark Blem coming on for the Ozark Mountain Ducks, I do believe. Is it Blem?
I don't know that it is.
Let's see if he will turn around and show me his back. Yep, this is Mark Blem. Let's say I thought I recognized the all-white shoes that he is known to wear. So Mark Blem coming on here, just an obvious janitorial situation. It is 18-1. Metropolitans out in front. They have hit 21 times. So here's Mark Blem from Morrisville, Missouri, Marion C. Early high school grad. Actually did not play high school baseball his senior year. Said he describes it as, you know, one of the biggest mistakes he's made in his life. But coming out here, finding grip and rip in 2018. It's part of a rediscovery of the game and, you know, falling in love with baseball again. He and his wife Brandy have 2 kids. His son Dylan is a baseball player at Evangel University, and then his daughter Taylor, softball standout at Marion C. Early in Morrisville. Blem family stayed around Mark's hometown. That's because Blem Tool Company, the family business, is right there. It was started by Mark's father, Jerry Blem, one of the nation's pioneers of paintless dent repair in the automotive industry. That is no joke. They ship tools all over, not just the country, but the world. There are hand tools fabricated in Morrisville, Missouri that get shipped to Australia. They ship to Europe.
I did not know that.
It is a pretty big deal. Yeah, you know, paintless dent repair, of course, is a niche, but yeah, the Blem family, very well known in that circle. So Mark Blem for the season, an inning pitched, no earned runs, no hits, no strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 wild pitches that ended up being inconsequential. Pitched 3 innings for the Mountain Ducks last year. Or check that. Did not pitch at all in 2021, I should say.
He did not.
Pitched 3 innings in 2020. Gave up 4 earned on 7 hits, struck out 6. Really his last, you know, big season as a pitcher was 2019. He was on a high rollers team that won the championship, and he was functioning as the 8th inning setup guy for that club. Fastball, slider, changeup is the MO for Mark Blem facing Steve Aldridge. 2 outs are on the board. Aldridge laces one, and man, when it's your day, it's your day. 4 hits for Steve Aldridge, contending for player of the game on perhaps.
How do you even pick a player of the game in this game? Like,
I'm just looking at who has the cleanest looking line for the Metropolitans, and I'm leaning Steve Aldridge for the moment. He's got 4 hits. So the bases are juiced for David Rodriguez. I mean, also, Steve Aldridge, I should point out, Brandon, I know the third inning feels like it was 7 years ago, but he did drive in what is currently standing up as the game-winning run. His RBI single in the third made it 2-1. It was a little bit more of a nail-biter back then.
It was. We had a good game going for
And you know what?
innings.
He has also caught very well all day. It's kind of one of those things you don't point out a catcher's defense usually unless he makes a mistake, but he's caught very well, catching Galley, Dishman, and Murphy. Blim went at him with the curve. This is lofted into left field. One hop, and it gets down. Base hit. Waters scores. An RBI for David Rodriguez. 19-1 is the score. I have to go back and add to make sure that's correct, but I've got 19. Fastball to Justin Parker. That's going to get through. So JP says, hold on. Maybe I can be the player of the game as he drives another one across.
How many hits does he have?
So Justin Parker, that was number 4 for him.
And a home run?
Yeah, 3-run home run.
All right.
Brings up Clay Murphy. And the Mets have now batted around in this inning. 8 runs have gone up. Murphy grounds one. That is through. The hit parade just keeps going. Chaffin scores. It's now a 20-run lead for the Mets. This thing is just out of control. Ribby for Murphy. Broadstreet steps up here. Grounded into a fielder's choice last time. That was the first out of this inning, believe it or not. Feels like even that was ages ago.
It does.
Blim, fastball out.
Remember that one time that Clay struck out 3 guys in a row?
Yeah, that was just in the top part of this very inning, believe it or not, Shippy.
Doesn't that feel like so long ago?
Yeah. There's a Steerreich thrown, and Mark Blim, there's that blowout strike zone like
There
we were
it
talking
is.
about, perhaps.
Had to be a 20-run lead first.
Outside corner, dipped out a little bit. Fastball bouncer, yeah, you're not going to get
come
that
on.
call.
Come
That was
on.
a little bit too obvious of a cricket shot there. Nice block by Phillips. Bases loaded. Deuce is wild here, 2-2-2 for the Mountain Ducks. They're just trying to go home and regroup a little bit after this one. Broadstreet swings and pops one into the stratosphere. Right field, Ethan Bryan makes the catch and puts a merciful end to a monstrous 8th inning by the Springfield Metropolitans. Make sure I have this right. Yeah, 9 runs went on the board that inning. They batted around. All kinds of craziness there. I mean, how do you even reconstruct? Steve Aldridge had a single, first he had a man reach on an error, then Steve Aldridge had a single, then a 3-run home run off the bat of Justin Parker, a single by Clay Murphy, a fielder's choice, a strikeout, and then the hits got going. Justin Loudon, Jared Brashler, Harrison Waters, Zach Young, then Steve Aldridge again, David Rodriguez, and then Clay Murphy. Justin Parker again. All with hits. We had just a string there of RBI singles, 6 in a row by the Mets. And so the score after 8 innings is 21-1. Clay Murphy is back on the hill, because why not? And we will bring you the commercial-free 9th inning right after this.
Redline Athletics is the Ozark's #1 youth sports performance training center. Redline uses the latest in technology, equipment, and techniques to help kids ages 8 to 18 prepare for competition in all sports, with our #1 goal to make them a better athlete first. Redline Athletics now offers team training. Bring your full squad in for workouts with our professional staff and boost their speed, strength, agility, and skills. Train like a pro at Redline Athletics, located in Southeast Springfield, just off James River Freeway in South Glenstone.
Clay Murphy back to the hill for the Springfield Metropolitans. No pressure here, Murph. You've just got a 20-run cushion to work with. Springfield Mets, 25 hits, 21 runs. Just an absolute hammering. But here comes Ethan Bryan, pinch hitting in John Artz's position in the order, the number 2 spot. If you're the Mountain Ducks, you're just looking for anything at all positive to go home with today. But they stand to fall to 3-3 with a loss to the Mets here. Springfield, meanwhile, could improve to 4-2. And if, it's a big if here, if tonight the Moon City Mavericks can beat the Republic Locos, Springfield Metropolitans will not quite lock it up, but they will pretty well be in the catbird seat to win the GRBL North. And if you're Brock Chaffin, I mean, you got to be encouraged by all these hits, but maybe you think, I hope the boys saved a little something for next time. Ethan Bryan puts one in the air right field. It's tailing down, but Zach Young, the right fielder, able to get over and make the catch. So one away. Clay Murphy stays at 95 strikeouts for his career for the moment. Ethan Bryan breaking up a string of Ks there. Skylar Carter steps in. So these have got to be records, you know, for the Mets. Runs scored. I remember an 18-run game back in 2019, I want to say that was. That was an 18-0 victory for a squad there. It was Scott Nasby's Cy Sports Cyclones, to be exact. The 0-2, Carter checked. And it's a good thing he did, 1-2. But yeah, that is the worst shellacking I can remember. So if there was anything worse, yeah, that's a strikeout. That would have been in either 2016 or 17, but I feel like somebody would have told me about that.
Yeah, this has got to be the record.
Most lopsided affair the GRBL has seen in 7 seasons. Tony Lewis, the commissioner. Could make a rule, perhaps, to give himself the 20-point shot. Murphy going to try to set him down. Tony, one of those guys who fiddles with his batting gloves after every pitch. Skip Schumacher style. Ooh,
he was trying, wasn't he?
Murph turned him inside out with the slider. Well, yeah, I mean, realistically, if you're Tony, you might as well just swing as hard as you can in case you hit it. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Another daddy hack. 1-2. So Clay Murphy with a chance to cement one here. 2 outs on the board. 21-1 the score. Murphy's pitch. Swing and a chopper. Broadstreet has to charge in. He hurried the throw on the run, but he got him. So Clay Murphy throws 2 perfect innings to close out a 21-1 victory for the Springfield Metropolitans, who absolutely dispatch their rivals, the Ozark Mountain Ducks, here today. Our elite promotions, elite performers of the game. Yes, I said it plural. I'm going to have Steve Aldridge and Justin Parker share the award. The line for Steve Aldridge today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. He was 5 for 7. Batted in 2 runs, including the game winner back in the 3rd. Justin Parker today was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 6. A 3 RBI home run in the 8th was a big. He also had an RBI single in that same inning, and then he singled out to left in the 4th. So Justin Parker, Steve Aldridge, your elite promotions, elite performers of the game in an offensive avalanche by the Springfield Metropolitans. We will talk things over with some of the Mets because, yeah, this one certainly needs recapping. That is after we take a little bit of an extended break. Back right after this. It's the Grip and Rip Baseball League live and free on YouTube.
Let's talk about some of the dynamic athletes who played in the Negro Leagues. And I always look at it this way. When I see a LeBron James or I see Michael Jordan come back try to play baseball, those were athletes that would have been in the Negro Leagues. There was no other professional option.
No question. The greatest athletes in the world played baseball because that was really the only way that you could make a living in a team sport. And if you're going to be a prize fighter, get in the ring with Joe Louis, go right ahead. Not too many people were making that business decision.
Negro League baseball, all you needed was a bus, a couple of sets of uniforms. You could have 20 of the best athletes that ever lived.
They could have played anything. Jackie Robinson's weakest sport was like with baseball.
Robbie's coming to the plate. He steals it.
He was a much better basketball, football, track athlete, hell, some say an even better tennis player.
Well, I don't know what kind of a man I am, but I think I'm a pretty good ball player.
Guys like Nat Sweetwater Clifton, who was the first African-American to sign a contract in the NBA. He's a 6'7", 6'8" first baseman for the Chicago American Giants. Goose Taylor, who was perhaps the game's first real two-sport professional star, invented the hook shot, is in the Basketball Hall of Fame, was a slick fielding first baseman for the Indianapolis Clowns. So that's the kind of athlete that the Negro Leagues were drawing.
When Gary and Sandra Henry started Henry's Towing nearly 5 decades ago, customers knew that Henry would be the guy coming to help. People would call and ask to let Henry do it. And as Springfield has grown, our family has grown as well. So there's always someone around to come help you out. Everyone at Henry's is a member of the family, fully trained and as dependable as the original. With a family this size, help is always right around the corner. So if you find yourself in need of roadside assistance, remember to call the name you've grown to know and trust. Remember to let Henry do it.
Hi, everyone. This is Bob Costas, and I'd like to tell you about an interesting new baseball book, A Year of Playing Catch by Ethan Bryan. A Year of Playing Catch is the story of how a lifelong fan was inspired to take a whimsical journey of discovery and the power of our national pastime to forge lasting connections. You can pick up your copy after any Ozark Mountain Ducks game or from your favorite bookseller or online. That's A Year of Playing Catch.
This coffee just isn't doing it for me today.
You say that every morning.
Yeah, I just can't get my day started.
You should really try Sumit's Hot Yoga. They have early morning classes, and trust me, it wakes you up better than coffee.
Sumit's Hot Yoga. You are going to feel awesome.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Hawkins with Key Cornerstone Realty, here to help with all your real estate needs in the St. Louis area. Do you have a house you want to sell for top dollar? We can help. With over 15 years of experience, our negotiating skills and expertise can help buyers and sellers get under contract fast. Contact us at keycornerstonerealty.com or call us at 636-447-8661. And go Locos!
I'm Nicole Hartnell with the Bank of Missouri. Whether you're looking to pay bills or make a big purchase, sometimes you need cash quickly to take that next step. A consumer loan might be a perfect option to help you live well, bank well. Sonia McClendon, one of our branch managers, is here to explain.
Thank you, Nicole. We provide personal consumer loans for almost any purpose, from building your credit to financing that new car. We offer competitive rates, and decisions are made locally so we can get you the money that you need quickly. But what makes our consumer loans unique is that personal touch. For example, I recently worked with a customer to secure a loan for a horse trailer. He could have went elsewhere, but he chose to work with his bank because of that personal relationship that we've built with him. Being able to work with your personal banker that you know and trust makes a big difference.
That's right, because we work with our customers to help them live well, bank well. Get started at bankofmissouri.com.
And we welcome you back to U.S. Baseball Park. Rance Berger here with you live with some of the victors, the Springfield Metropolitans, and all they did was get 25 hits, score 21 runs, and very unceremoniously dispatch of some of their rivals, the Ozark Mountain Ducks, 21-1. Your final score here today, joined by Zach Young and Andy Galley. And Zach, I'll start with you because, man, the hits were coming for you guys all day long. You yourself go 3 for 5 with a triple, a 2-run homer, and then an RBI single in that big old 8th inning. I mean, what on earth did we just watch here?
It's a great question. I think everything just kind of came together today. I think it's the lineup that Brock feels like he drafted. And I think we kind of finally put it together. In previous weeks, we'd have the top hitting or the middle hitting or the bottom. And this week, everybody just really put it together and we're putting good swings on the ball.
So Metropolitans got 2 home runs today. You got one of them. Talk me through what you saw there in the 6th.
I was just trying to get a good pitch and hit it hard, and he left a fastball a little bit too much over the plate, and I put a good swing on it. It felt really good.
I mean, this is a big ballpark. I mean, there's no such thing as just blooping one to the short porch here at U.S. Baseball Park.
No, it's one of the biggest parks I've ever played in, and then you add that 16-foot wall in there too, and it's a little intimidating for a hitter, but if you put a good swing on it, sometimes you can get one out.
Yeah, let's dive into your past experience a little bit prior to the Grip and Rip, because I know it's your rookie year out here. Can't really call you a true rookie though, because
don't really feel like a rookie. The body doesn't feel like a rookie's body for sure.
Tell me about just the ball you played up in Iowa before you were playing here in Grip and Rip.
Yeah, I got involved in MSBL up there, affiliated, and played for several teams up there over the last 10 years. Great group of guys up there, a lot of good baseball happening up in Iowa, and I was fortunate enough to get to be a part of it. When I moved up there, I kind of thought my baseball career was over. I was playing some slow pitch softball and just happened to run into a guy that told me about the league, and if it wasn't for that, I probably never would have found out about it, and I'm really, really glad I did, because I got to meet some really great people up there and play in some really good ball games.
Yeah, so what brought you back here to Missouri?
So I'm from here originally, from Bolivar. I went to high school there, and just spent 10 years up in Iowa. All my family's down here. My wife's family's down here. And just with parents getting older and grandparents getting older, we really felt like it was important to get back and spend that quality time with family while we still have it.
So you find yourself back in Missouri, back in baseball, and in Grip and Rip. You end up on probably the largest collection of characters I think I've seen assembled on one roster. How do you fit in with the bad boys, with the Mets?
It's probably kind of an odd pairing. I feel like I'm one of the least odd guys on the team, if you know what I mean. I mean, I don't even have a real nickname on the back of my jersey today. So, but it's a really fun group of guys. I'm really glad that I got drafted by Brock and getting to play with them. We're having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of having fun, as much as you guys were hitting, you got great pitching today as well. Andy Galley, just another banger year out of you. But today, end up scattering 5 hits, give up 1 earned. Struck out 5, so you got a little bit more of a firm grip on that all-time leader in strikeouts title. And I know that's big for you, but I mean, you and I are the same age. I won't disclose it, but I feel like you're just getting better with age, man. Yeah. What's the secret?
Early in the game, throwing fast, first pitch strikes, and playing against Austin now for 7 years, I heard him say in the dugout, hey, first pitch he's going to throw a strike. So they start teeing off on me and hitting the ball hard in the first inning, and then talk to Steve, my catcher, and Brock, and the more innings I throw, usually the looser and stronger I get, especially with off speed. So that 3rd inning, I mean, I was rolling curveballs in for strikes, and I was getting 0-2 right ahead, and then come back with a hard fastball outside or something. So I was backwards pitching, I'd say inning 3 and on, and they just couldn't touch it.
So just from afar, I've really enjoyed, watching you and Steve Aldridge work together. It's been a fun battery to observe. But what's it been like for you being part of that?
2 veterans out there, man, and you can't get better than that. We're the old guys out there. So he's calling great games. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better catcher. He's out of most catchers I've seen in this league, he frames pitches that are borderline and, helps me get the call for a strike and sets up good, and he knows how I throw. So, I was going to throw 3 today, and he's like, went down to the bullpen when Dishman was warming up. He goes, nope, let Galley go 5. So through the last 2, and we just work well together. So
did you have a lot of input on that beforehand, or was it just that was the moment where you found out you were going 5?
That was the moment I found out I was going 5. Yep.
Well, obviously you were ready to accept that challenge.
Yep, exactly.
So, and that's, I wanted to ask about just how you fit in with the Mets and Brock Chaffin, because that is also a pairing we haven't seen, and both of you guys have been in the league a pretty fair bit.
No, I've told everybody since playing this league every year, the best year I've ever had was year one, playing with the, GRBL red team, Skinner's group. We made it to the championship game that first year. Even last year, I couldn't find how happy I was and how much fun it was since year one. I mean, it was still good years, but it was so much fun the first year. This year overtook that finally. So playing with these guys, it's been the most fun. I mean, I look forward towards Sundays again. It's coming out here and playing. We got a great team. We all kind of intertwine and interlock with everybody. So, just playing with these guys, I always joke around like I'm going to throw 5 innings before an hour. That's my goal this year. He's like, Gally's like, he doesn't care about strikeouts, walks, whatever. How many hits he wants to throw for an hour for a time frame. So I try to throw 5 innings within the hour.
You almost got that today.
I think if it wasn't for the mound screwing up on the first inning, because that was like a 15-minute delay. So I need to go back and track time. Rance, there's another.
We will go back, and that is a stat I will admit I do not usually look at. Although we do talk about you being a quick worker.
Yep.
And you and I have talked about that quite a bit. Just when it's on, it's on.
Yep.
So why waste time?
Yeah, guys are trying to call. 2 guys tried to call a timeout when I'm in my windup or on my stretch at one time. I'm still throwing it. Just don't stand in the batter's box.
So you guys jumped to 4-2, and I'll ask this of both of you. Andy, you've been around, and Zach, this is kind of your first taste of that stretch run to the GRBL postseason. So this was a big win for you guys today, just in terms of playoff implications, trying to grab the win in the North Division and that bye. So, have you been thinking much about the playoffs at this stage?
I have a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's kind of on everybody's mind. I mean, everybody wants to go as deep into the playoffs as possible and make that championship game. And you just want to get hot at the right time. Hopefully, we can carry this on to the upcoming games.
So, have you, Zach, in your experience, had chances to compete for championships at the amateur level?
Yeah, I've played in a couple of the championship games up there in Iowa, and then Iowa would take a team down to Arizona about every year to play in the MSBL World Series, and we actually won back-to-back championships down there.
Nice.
So those are probably some of the biggest games I've ever played in my career.
And Andy, I know you've been in some big ones in the Montclair, but it's been a while in the GRBL. It's kind of that one box that remains unchecked.
Correct,
so
correct.
What would it mean to compete for a bill with the Mets this year?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be a dream come true. End on a high note.
Good enough. Well, guys, an avalanche of runs for sure. I'll let you go enjoy this. Maybe do a little bit of scoreboard watching. I know you guys might turn yourselves into Moon City Mavericks fans today. If the Mavericks can beat the Locos, I can't say like 100% pure lock, but it would certainly put Los Mets into the catbird seat headed into the final week of the season.
Nice. I think you're right. I think Brock was mentioning that today. So
I know he watches that closely.
Yeah, he
was it was a couple weeks ago. He was texting me about what is the order it goes in? Overall record, division. He was extrapolating the playoff picture way out, and I said, man, just go win the ball game. that is the thing you can try to control. But a deep thinker, that guy, Brock Chaffin. So Los Mets winners today, 21-1. Andy Galley and Zach Young had a big hand in it. They're going to watch the scoreboard. You guys are back in action October 2nd, 3 p.m. You play the Nixa Suckers non-divisional game. Should be a pretty good tussle nonetheless. So until then, we will go ahead and stop this stream, come back at 3 o'clock, bring you the Branson Showmen and the Nixa Suckers. That is right after this on the GRBL YouTube channel. But until then, good afternoon from Ozark, Missouri.